Howdy, carnivores.
Good morning.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome back to another episode. Kind of feels like we did this yesterday. One, because we had an impromptu members only, non-members only live. And then we had a mess up with the scheduling. That's why
Damn
you got
Yeah.
we hire, huh? Those people.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to remove the admin button, I think. I scheduled the wrong time for this live stream.
The quality control around this joint is just horrendous.
Oh, you got two for the price of one today, so
But if we were perfect professional YouTubers, we would probably be dull and boring.
Yeah, we would be.
Oh man. But we're back. Haven't seen you guys in almost 20 hours. And here we are again. So what'd you guys do in the last 20 hours? I know Lindy had some fun.
I did. We went out to a beautiful restaurant last night. It was a Viking restaurant, so they featured a lot of meat, and I had my first tomahawk, and it was delicious. Price was very pricey, $220 Australian. So I think that was about
150
around
American,
150 American. But geez, that was worth it. If I can afford it, I will definitely be doing that again. That's my new favorite cut of beef. But it was rare, it was really fatty, and with the lap band, I just found it just melted in my mouth and went down so easily. It's the best steak I've ever had. So definitely sold on a tomahawk now. I've been spoiled. Nothing's ever going to taste as good anymore.
That's awesome. Yeah, tomahawks are just another thing. I don't know what it is, like I know it's just it's basically just a cowboy cut ribeye, but man, that I don't know what it is. Ribeye on the bone tastes better. It just does. I don't care what anybody says. It tastes better. I do not know why, but maybe
Yeah.
it's just more the marrow melting into the steak. But man, I love ribeye on the bone.
More
It is
flavor.
so good.
Yeah.
It is,
It's
man.
beautiful. I'm
And
just
then-
dreaming of it now.
Oh, I know. And I love how, we always would kind of slow cook it to get it to temperature, kind of like a reverse sear, but then we'd take it and put it right on the coals, right on the just glowing red coals and glowing white coals, and get a sear on it right in the hot box, and pull it out. And oh my gosh, there's nothing like a coal sear on a tomahawk. It's just cooked perfectly. Oh my gosh. Just to eat,
Wow.
I can eat my body weight in those things.
Well, I think I've seen them at our local shop. They're about $80 for the one tomahawk. So if I buy it, my daughter bought me a big charcoal grill, and I've never really used it. I might even experiment and try it myself. It's
Yeah,
half price if I go to the restaurant.
all you got to
so
do,
let's
like
see.
literally all you got to do is go get one of those Bluetooth meat thermometers, and just put it in there so you can get the temperature perfect, get it right at the temperature you want to be about. You want to be, I don't know what you're, if it's probably Celsius, but for me, I want to go 8 to 10 degrees lighter than where I want it cooked. And then I stop it there. Then I put it right on top of the coals, like right in the hotbed of coals. And I get the sear that I'm looking for about, you want about 3 minutes on each side, roughly for me, but I'm talking like a 3-pound tomahawk, like if it was a
Yeah.
small steak, that would be too long, but about 3 minutes on each side to get that sear, pull it off and let it rest for 15 minutes. And it's perfect. It is so good. Oh my gosh.
Well, if I buy one, I'll let you know, and I'll we'll WhatsApp you, and you can help me do it.
That'd be awesome. And then we're killing Michael, by the way, because he's on like his 44th day of fasting or something. He's
doing good on day 14, so I'm working towards day 15 now.
And tell him the amazing part. When early on in this fast, Michael was like, "Man, I just want to do this until I'm below 500." And now what are you this morning?
489.
489. Michael
So
is
good.
killing it.
Yeah.
He is killing it.
Good.
I'm happy. Feeling good.
Amazing.
My right leg looks good. I wish my left leg would start doing something, but I have to work on that.
I
Absolutely.
always find one side of my body is worse than the other as well. And they don't seem to heal together. But as long as there is movement, it'll catch up eventually.
It will. I know. Just takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just looking in here. Me and Carrie were talking today because she's starting to get more of an appetite now for the meat, so she's her body's finally healing. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm working on doing a lot of fasting right now, and doing this lion thing, but I got to tell you, I sure have been insatiable for ribeyes lately. Like I've been knocking down 3 to 4 ribeyes a day right now on my feeding days. And I'm just like, holy cow, my body is really like my metabolism wants meat right now. Like it's like, I've never seen it in my life. I mean, when I was the sad diet person, I never craved meat ever. I mean, I would crave a pepperoni pizza or a taco that had meat on it, but I didn't crave steak. I didn't crave beef or anything like that. Now it's just crazy how much I feel like a carnivore. I feel like a lion this like steak with my hands. It's pretty funny. Man, it's very healing, but my legs are just healing crazy good right now. I'm so happy. Whatever's going on with this insatiable appetite for meat right now is healing my legs. My legs look better than I've ever seen them in my life right now. It's crazy. I was worried that wasn't ever going to go away for a long time. And man, it's healing up fantastically.
Yeah.
I love this comment.
Thank you. It was 100% certified grade A dumpster fire yesterday for sure.
I think we had like 6 live streams and we had to stop.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Michael only worked out what happened this morning. He's like, I think I know what happened, because we were all like clueless. We had no idea what was going on.
Well, it was kind of the perfect storm cluster duck there yesterday, because what happened was Lindy and we hadn't known it at the time had scheduled today's live stream for yesterday, right?
Yesterday.
And then I'm trying to schedule a members only live stream just on my channel, and we might as well get all this out in the world because I think we figured it all out. So I'm trying to schedule a members only because I have some members now. I have 10 free ones, and my other account I paid for myself because I wanted to see what it was like on this side of things. So now I have to, I'm doing some members only content, and the biggest thing that I'm doing for it is I want to do a members only live stream where they can come on and talk to me. But in order to do that, you have to link YouTube members only to StreamYard to let people come in. And that's not totally simple. So, and in addition to that, I still don't have a current identification card, like ID, because when I was sick, mine expired. And so I went like 3 weeks ago or something to get it. And I thought I had all the documentation to get what I needed. I was wrong. They kicked me back and I got to go get apparently I had a copy of my birth certificate and I didn't have an original copy of my birth certificate that's got the raised stamp or whatever on it, the seal. So I got to go get that at the clerk and recorder. But because of that, what's called AdSense on YouTube can't suspended me until I prove my identity. So I can't get that back up and running until I get an ID. So I'm going to go do that tomorrow. I'm going to get an ID, blah, 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 get AdSense going, and then I can be back. But that's why it turns out my members only crap wasn't working yesterday. But in addition to it, we were trying to do it, and everybody's like, I can't get in on Lindy's and Michael's. And I'm like, it shouldn't even be over on Lindy.
I know, it's confused me.
Right. And so we didn't know what in the heck was going on. But as it would turn out, it was because there was one scheduled yesterday on Lindy and Michael. And it was because we all screwed up at the same time. And you are welcome to our circus because the monkeys got loose basically on us yesterday. We made a mess of things. But I don't know. We're all laughing about it now.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother us as long as it doesn't bother our community, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So I don't know. We're a perfectly imperfect bunch of numbskulls, but we'll get it put together in the future. But yeah, Michael. Yeah. What is this? 14 days today? Yeah. Michael's on officially 2 weeks. 14 days and going strong, because Michael, I mean, at this rate, he's going to be at his ideal weight by, the time the weather warms up.
I'm fine with it. I'm not missing food. I'm really not. I have
That's
a few
amazing,
little
man.
hunger issues, a few little hunger pains every once in a while, especially in the morning. But after that, I got so much energy. It's unreal.
Right? It's incredible.
As long as the weight keeps dropping, I'm going to stick to it. As soon as
Right
I
on.
stall, I stalled yesterday. No weight loss, and then I really didn't think I was going to drop today, and then I got on it, saw myself 3 pounds down, so I was very happy. But if
Right.
2 days back to back, then I'm done.
That's because we have the greatest people in the world here at 700 Plus. That's why you guys are amazing.
You guys all are. Yeah, you guys all know that we all love you.
Absolutely, man. No, this is this is the place to be for sure. Love hanging out with you guys. I did the hit axle again this morning. Like, I really went for it. Got four I don't know, whatever, not I don't know, 4 sets
Rotation?
of no,
Rotations?
no, no, I'm not that pathetic. I would get about 30 to 40 rotations, and then I did 4 sets of that.
Oh, wow.
Just until it makes me want to throw up on the floor, and which it really does. Man, that thing burns my abdomen. Holy cow, my abs just set on fire. And I'm like, well, it's proof that there's some down there then, because they hurt.
Gee, that's amazing. I couldn't imagine doing that. Looks hard.
I'm starting to like it. I like that pain because literally it's kind of funny, right? I'm like, all right, under this, grizzly bear cover here, there's this hibernation, this hibernation fat under here. There's stomach muscles because I'm making them hurt real bad.
Gee.
So we'll see where it goes. And it's just a good workout, and it's making me feel just more flexible, more bendy. I don't know. Is that a technical term?
Mike got a message that said you suspended memberships.
Yeah, that was because
YouTube,
we're coming back, and I'm giving you, even if I got to buy y'all, I'm putting y'all back in, whoever my members were, putting y'all back in once I get AdSense. But basically, so they told me I have 120 days to fix it, and I just have to prove, how stupid is this, right? So I take in my expired ID, I take in my social security card, and I take in my bank statement with my name on it where all my money goes. And I have my debit cards with my name and signature on it. I have credit cards with my name and signature on it. And I have mail, utility bills with my name and address on it. And I take this in to go get an identification. And they say, we can't take that. And plus, I gave them a birth certificate, but it wasn't an original copy with a raised seal on it. So I have to take all that stuff now and go to the clerk and recorder. So the same documents that I couldn't get an identification with, I can get a birth certificate with, in which I can then take that birth certificate and go get an ID with it. It's just like, does this make any sense to anybody? So all this information is not good enough to get an ID card, but it is good enough to get a birth certificate in which I can then get an ID card with. It's just like, give me a freaking break. But that is the stuff that's going on. And then I have to go take my driver's test again and go drive and parallel park and all that nonsense because my ID overlapped for over a year. So I got to go do that. So that's where I'm at. It's going to be pretty funny. It's going to be pretty funny. The whole works.
It'd really be funny if you fail.
Oh, it'll be hilarious. Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Back, I can't remember. It was a long time ago when I did that. I have a learner's permit book here where I got to read and remember all the highway rules again. Like, this is stupid. I thought I was done with this crap.
My license expired prior to me starting Carnivore during COVID, which was really good because all the offices were closed. We were in lockdown. So I was able to renew my license online and just sent a new photo in, and then they sent me a card. And I couldn't drive. I didn't think I'd ever drive again, but I didn't want to let that lapse because I didn't have a passport at the time. And I thought that's the only ID I've got. So, and I didn't, I was hoping a miracle would happen. I would get get driving again. I just didn't want to let it lapse. So it worked out well for me because if COVID wasn't around, I wouldn't have been able to get my license. There's no way I could have gone to Vic Roads and you've waited in line, and because you've got to wait for hours to be seen and do all that stuff. So COVID was actually a positive thing for me.
Wow, I should have jumped
Yeah.
on that bandwagon. I missed the bus on that thing.
Yeah.
Sandra, it's her birthday, I guess. Happy birthday, Sandra
Happy
McDonald.
birthday. Yep.
That's
Happy
amazing.
birthday.
And then
Yay.
Renee, will you help you feel better?
Oh, yeah, we'll be praying for you, Renee, for sure. For sure. Let's see here. Got this. Let's see. And then definitely, if you guys have any questions, put a Q in front of them. We're gonna do some more time, and then depending on how things go, we might even open up the chat here a little bit later too, when we kind of go over some things. But yeah. So how small are you trying to get, Michael? How much you trying to shrink?
Much as I can. If I disappear, it's fine.
Oh, let's see. 61
Andrew,
today. Wow.
he's young today because we're
That is
aging
amazing.
backwards. It's just a number. It's how you feel.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
That's all.
if they can do those little tests where they love to send those little snarky blood tests and say you have the the pancreatic function of a 96-year-old all that stuff, they love to put all these snarky little comments to try to shock you at the doctor into taking drugs. Well, then we can do it backwards. We can be like, I might be 60 years old, but I'm peeing like a 22-year-old or whatever. However that works out. I mean, obviously these aren't technical examples, but you get the gist.
Gotta take it. Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's pretty fair. For sure. And then let's see. How are all you guys out there? Yeah, I know.
I don't
It's
know.
crazy. Michael,
Oh, he's gonna fade away. We'll be looking at a chair soon.
I know. Michael's like, I did all my eating in the first 53 years. Now we're gonna
I can go a long time without eating.
I gotta tell you, this is counterproductive to priming.
Well, I primed for this, so
He did prime for
And
this. Yeah.
yeah, just want to remind everyone that he is under the guidance of Emily and Raymond coaching. So they're watching him and looking out for signs. So we're not doing this, just
I feel
off our
great.
back.
And under the
Yeah.
helpful eye of Big T, I send him pictures of my meat
Yeah,
every day.
yeah, he does.
So that I can give him a temperature check and see if
Steak, not meat.
Steak, sorry. Ribeyes. we don't need to start any conspiracy theories for sure.
Well, I'm back on the fasting wagon. I'm going to do a 72 hour. There might actually be more because 72 hours is at 10 p.m. So I'm just going to let it go to the next morning. And so, yeah, I'll support Michael again if I can, if he's still going.
Thank you, Lindy, for taking my side instead of being like Todd and sending me steak pictures.
Hey,
I'll get you back, Michael.
I'm just trying to make sure your heart's still in it,
It is, believe me. Believe me.
He's hanging out for the tomahawk in Texas.
That's why I'm trying to drop as much weight as I can so I can go.
Hey, so cool. So excited for that.
Oh, no, it's going to be awesome, man. You're going to be, I know there's ways to go, but man, I mean, if Vegas was running numbers on you, making it to KetoCon at this rate, you're doing pretty good.
I really didn't think I was going to make 5 days. I really didn't.
Yeah, now you're just like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month.
Nothing.
Maybe I'll just fast till KetoCon and I'll have some beef broth when I get there.
And break it there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it that long, but each day I see how I feel and take it from there.
Man,
I'm not going to push it.
How are you going walking around the house and things like that? Is your mobility feeling a little better? Yeah.
A lot better, especially on this fast. Like I said, my legs are a lot better. Still got a long way to go, but this fast has really helped. Really helped.
Yeah. It motivates you when you're feeling good. You can see the differences.
Yeah,
Swelling
I'm
goes
working
down.
out each day now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the vibration machine. And speaking of that, a bunch of people in the community have listened to us, and they actually bought one. So I can't wait to hear how well it's helping all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that great about having a group of people like this that where we all come together? Because it's like a focus group. You get to try it out and put together real life, like cause and effect, and like how, what is helping things, and we can put that data together and really make, help people make big decisions and educated decisions on things that are actually going to make the difference. I mean, like Bill just going to all those MRIs and stuff, spending all that money, and they're just like, nope, that wasn't the problem. And I like, it's not just Bill, it's like my brother too, right? He spent $38,000, and all the doctors told him was all the things that it wasn't. He's got like the syncope stuff and the neuropathy and all this stuff, and all they did with all the tests is tell him everything that it wasn't. You know what I mean? This group finds out what, maybe it's not so scientific, but it's results oriented is pretty amazing,
And
Mm.
before I forget, I just want to give a shout out to Brett at Hoosier Carnivore. He just ended a 12-day fast as well.
Oh man,
Oh.
congratulations.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I was watching
So
his
big.
fasting videos this morning, and the one that got me was his refeeding. That got me because his reaction is going to be my reaction. So if you guys don't know Hoosier Carnivore, I'm going to post his channel in there. He did give me a shout out. So.
Did he have disaster pants on the refeeding?
He hasn't updated yet, so
I gotcha.
he might still be sitting on the toilet.
But stay away from salmon.
Let's see here.
And he did lose 20 pounds. So
Oh,
that was
did
awesome
he?
for him. Yeah.
That is
I watched a
amazing.
few of these videos. I haven't caught up because it's only morning here, so I haven't caught up on any YouTube videos this morning. I like to follow people.
Yeah, that'd be fun for sure. Let's see, we got a couple of questions.
Michael, have you had any visits from medical staff while fasting?
No, not yet.
When's your next? Do you know when you have a
Last time she was here was December, I believe, or November. I think December. And she was thrilled with what she was seeing, and she says, "I don't think I need to see you for a few months." So,
Wow.
That's awesome. Well, you might still be fasting, Mister
could be.
Rock. you might be like, if I just fast for 3 more days, I'll be under 400 pounds. That'd be amazing.
Hi, Sarah. What were the last foods you let go of? I make excuses with 100% dark chocolate since it has no sugar and is very low carb, but finally ready to stop. I've been carnivore for about 7 months. I don't know. I kind of went cold turkey and just went beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. So I got rid of everything in one hit. Cheese did sneak in occasionally, and then I just found that was giving me more inflammation and was stalling my weight loss. So then I had to let that go. So that's probably dairy for me. Coffee as well. I used to like my coffee every morning. I don't have it every morning now. I just have it socially when I go out, maybe once a fortnight or once every other week, I think these guys say. But I don't find not having coffee affects me at all or having it. I don't feel any side effects, but I just choose not to have it every day so I don't feel like it's an addiction or I have to have it. Like I'm not going to die if I don't have a coffee. So yeah, that's it for me, I guess. I've never been into sweeteners and stuff, but
Yeah, the
Mm.
last thing I had to kick was diet sodas and diet energy drinks. That was my hardest one. That was over a year ago now, and it was always my that was always my biggest addiction. And I can tell you that it was harder than quitting gambling. It was for a gambling addiction. It was harder than quitting even sugar, in a lot of ways. I mean, it was that was kind of still wrapped up in it, but it was caffeine, still harder than just quitting like iced tea with caffeine, was quitting that soda, and way harder than quitting tobacco, a 26-year tobacco habit. That was all harder, but it was, once that broke, man, everything was easy, after that. That was the worst thing that I had to deal with. And uh yeah, I mean, the only thing I got to be careful now with is dairy, because I like it, but if I have
Yeah.
much of it, I'll gain water weight real quick, and I'll kind of feel it, not bad, but a little inflamed, and it'll hold some water weight for a few weeks on me. But that's really it. It's I don't know. I still, even online, I'm still letting myself have like vinegary hot sauces, because man, I just feel better when I'm having them. When I have red Tabasco, lots of it on a steak, and I eat a fatty ribeye, and I eat all the fat on the ribeye, even when they have the big, thick, like 4-ounce corners of fat on them. I eat that whole thing. That stuff emulsifies with that vinegar in there so quick that I feel great. I just did it. And I feel fantastic. I get so much energy. It's like when I used to drink like Red Bulls. I would get this just pump, quick shot of energy that just wakes up my mind. I love that so much. I'm whatever the combination of a real stout vinegar or vinegar based like hot sauce. And that's why I like Tabasco, because it's just the red peppers, a little bit of salt, very little salt, but it's got a little bit in, about 35 milligrams, and vinegar. And man, I feel good when I have that with fatty meat. So that's the only thing I'm paying attention to. But it used to bug me. We were just talking about this yesterday. I was like, isn't it stupid because we put ourselves in these boxes, that I'm okay with having dairy, which I know stalls me and puts a bunch of fluid on me and inflammation on me, but it's still in the carnivore box. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being guilty somehow by listening to my body and eating vinegar, when I have not yet to see a negative impact of vinegar on me. And I only have a positive one, but it's not in the carnivore box. So it feels weird. But, and, when I listen to Raymond and those guys talk about the reason why that probably doesn't have a negative effect on me, is because it's like fermented kind of in the vinegar. So all the oxalates come out of the pepper, so you're not supposed to get the oxalate. So anyways, I don't know. That's the only thing I really pay attention to now. Like, am I addicted to vinegar, or why do I keep getting like cravings for vinegar all the time? That's the only strange thing that happens to me now.
Mm.
How about
How
you,
about
Michael?
you, Michael?
For me, the last thing I just gave up, really all food, I just gave up. But no, coffee, I quit on New Year's. I stopped drinking my coffee, and then I quit cheese. No more cheese for me, and that's really about it. Everything else, I'm pretty much done with. Just sticking with meat, eggs, and bacon, and that.
Well, this is curious.
Easy.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what this means. Cayenne peppers are heart tonic. I
Heart
know
tonic?
cayenne peppers are good for blood flow and circulation. I know
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
Maybe your body's intelligent. Your body knows what you need.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at too. Cause I'm like, if I was having an addict like craving, I would crave pizza or sugar or pie or cheesecake or something. So now my body craves things I never craved vinegar before I was carnivore. Like, that was never a thing. That wasn't even on my like palate range. I likes hot things kind of, but I didn't crave vinegar. Now I crave vinegar. So I'm sure you're right, because I feel great when I'm doing it. And maybe it has something to do with blood. Let's see.
So many jokes. I send him pictures of my meat every day. Herbal medicine cane is
Yep.
used for people with heart issues. Yeah.
Cayenne's really good for you. Yeah.
Well, maybe that's exactly what's going on. Because, yeah, I mean, I have, I don't know what I have anymore. A year ago, I had congestive heart failure. I don't know if I still do or not. I don't feel like I do, but maybe it's rebuilding something for sure.
Mm. Hi, Bypass Carnival. How long did it take you to see a difference when you started the perfect amino acids? I started with three a day 4 days ago. Um, I think pretty much straight away. I was having 30 a day, so 10 tablets 3 times a day. Um, I think that's what Emily has as well. Todd was obviously having a lot more. Michael's not having any at the moment because you don't have them while fasting. But I didn't realize it was releasing the fluid. I didn't think anything of it until I spoke to Todd and um, Raymond about it, and they were like, "Oh, I'm going to the toilet lots more through the day," and I'm like, "Oh, so am I." I didn't even click that it was having an effect, so it was pretty instant for me.
For sure.
That's really the only benefit that I think I've had. Yeah. How about you, Todd?
He reminded me to take them when he said that. Actually, I was like, I haven't taken them in the last hour and a half. For me, I don't know. Here's what's so funny about when I take things. It was 6 weeks into taking them that I finally realized things that were happening. But that's because I'm kind of a thunderheaded lummox, like I don't notice things until it gets pretty blatant. And that was when I noticed the fluid when we were talking to Lindy and stuff, and we were all just like, you know, we're all just like, oh, this is happening with the peeing and stuff like that. And then we're like, oh, that's the thing. And then I was like, right at the same time, I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm growing hair. I was like, I'm just weird. And then I went out in the living room and my mom, 80-year-old mom's like, are you growing hair? I'm like, I thought I was too. So I was like, okay, I am growing hair. So those two things clicked in. But another reassuring thing for me on that was after I kind of hit the wall on those, I ran out of them and it took me 3 weeks to get a bunch more in. And uh I felt different, I felt off. And then immediately within taking them again within my first 2 doses, I was like, oh, okay, these are making a big difference. Like my mood, my energy level, just like my mental focus and everything was way better when I started taking them again. And that's how I often find things that are having an adverse effect. It's not when it's not when I stop it, it's when I reintroduce it and then I can see it. It's weird. Like if something's having a positive effect and I introduce it to myself, I don't feel it right then and there until I stop taking it. And if I stop taking something that was having a negative effect, I don't feel it until I start it again, try it again later, a month down the road, and then it's like day and night. And I'm like, oh, okay, like that's what that's doing to me. So I kind of had that with the with the amino acids, and I definitely so to answer your question, I think for me it really found out about 5 weeks into it, but I'm sure it was doing stuff I just wasn't aware of it earlier on. So hey Carolina,
Still going.
Hi.
there we go.
Yes, you are still fasting. Maybe she missed the beginning. Do you want to give an
Yeah.
update, Michael?
Yeah, still going. Day 14. Down 44 pounds and doing good. Feeling good. Feeling really good.
Amazing. Hi, Karen. Anyone have positive effects from quitting coffee? It's the last thing to give up for me. For
I have,
me,
yeah. Oh, because you quit, didn't you?
yeah, I don't have it every day. I used to have one every morning. I don't have it every day now. I don't find any difference at all. I just miss it. Sort of, I love having a hot drink in the morning, but I don't feel any negative effects or positive effects. It's no difference apart from the
Um,
missing.
14 days from without having it, and I really don't notice a difference except I'm sad in the morning when I get up. Miss it. Like having it
Yeah.
in the morning.
Mhm. Yeah. I when I quit drinking, well, basically when I quit soda, I quit drinking all caffeine. I used to drink a bunch of coffee in the morning. I drink ice, black iced tea all day long, and I'd be drinking, diet sodas and diet energy drinks too during the day. When I quit that, I got a lot more. I just got a lot more clarity. Like it's not, when you do the caffeine thing, you have a real high, but then you kind of have a crash all the time. It's very similar to the sugar for me. I don't have that anymore. Like I just wake up and I'm either slowly getting more energy or my batteries are slowly dying. That's kind of what it feels like. And then I use the Wim Hof stuff, breathing method, and vitamin B1 for the upper feeling that I want, because those help me the most. They give me the most upper feeling that I miss from caffeine and nicotine and stuff. So, but definitely, I don't know. I just feel like my mood's better. I know that carnivore zen feeling where you're just calm and make better decisions and not compulsive. That's gotten a lot better since I quit caffeine for sure.
I do like to look forward to a coffee when I go out for social events. If I go out for coffee with a friend or something, I can enjoy my coffee. They can have their cookie and cake with it, but the coffee is a treat for me. So, yeah, it just keeping it as a treat. Like cheese as well. I love cheese, but I can't have it daily. That does affect me, but I use that as a treat when I'm socializing as well. And then, yeah, just feels like I've got something to look forward to and I'm not missing out.
For sure.
Like if you're having it every day, you won't get that same feeling. It's not a treat anymore, is it?
Right. Right.
Yeah. Hi,
Exactly.
Angel. When is KetoCon or others coming up? Thanks. KetoCon, I think, is 31st of May to 2nd or 3rd of June. So, yeah, 3 days
Austin,
in Austin.
Texas.
Yeah. So the three of us should hopefully all be there, all going well. My tickets are booked.
Mine too. I have a plane ticket and the KetoCon ticket. I'm just working on. I haven't figured out where I'm wanting to stay yet, but that's the last thing I got to do and get the car. But that's the last thing I got to line up. So it's official. I'm coming unless some disaster happens. I'll be there. And if Michael keeps up the progress, man, he's gonna half of him's gonna be there.
Fine. I won't miss it. I won't miss that other half of me.
Exactly.
Yeah, so if you're coming, let us know in the comments. We're thinking of doing a bit of a meetup, some local Texas ranch or something. I don't know,
For sure.
Brazilian barbecue or something. That'd be awesome.
I will definitely keep up the Tabasco. If the cayenne helps hearts, I'm all in for it. I'll take it. I know I feel better, like no joke. And I mean I slathered on pretty good and I feel fantastic with that vinegary Tabasco on there. I feel great right now. Maybe it is a blood flow thing.
I'm gonna
Oh,
have to
that's
give it
awesome. How do you like Mark? I'd love to know how you like the SBG calls. I'd love to see what you think of those. I think they're fantastic, especially the NSV
NSVs.
meetings on Fridays. They're fabulous, I think.
Yeah, I didn't make the last one. I'm halfway watching the replay now, so I look forward to jumping into that later. It's
Absolutely.
awesome.
It was
Yeah. Mm.
a good one.
Hi, Linda. What exactly is this breathing method you keep talking about?
I am posting it in the chat right now, guys.
Yep, and you can click on it. It's awesome. Let's see here. There we go. Carolina's going to be there. She's on board, but we knew that. But anyways,
Be so exciting. Yeah. I think
it'll be a good time.
and Caroline is a coach at SBG, so one of them odds there helps out a lot.
You and Michael just need to hop in the truck, meet up at Bucky's, get over there.
You both live in Chicago. Does Mike live in Chicago too?
No, he's
No.
in Iowa, next state over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he just needs to swing by, pick up Michael. You guys can keep each other awake and just hit the road.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Yep.
Yes,
we
we
are.
are. I
Yeah.
find doing it in bed is better when I wake up in the morning or when I go to bed and I just lie in bed and do the breathing exercises. It's almost like meditating. And I just find my limbs get really cold and pins and needles, and I just feel alive, very clear mental clarity. And yeah, and sometimes if I get a bit stressed through the day, if something happens, I'll just go and lie on my bed and do it. And it's just like a reset. And then I can think better and then just go off and do my day again. So I'm finding it really helpful.
I do mine while I'm on shake plate.
Man, that would make it difficult for me if I like mine right here. I don't do it very well. So I can't hold my breath as long when I'm laying down. I like it right here, and it wakes me up. Like I said, I used to have a routine where I was like, oh, this next 3-hour task is going to suck. So I'd put a Copenhagen in, I would drink a Red Bull, and then I would bear down. I'd put some music on, and I'd just go for it. And I kind of missed that little cycle because that was just some mental switch I would turn on to do things that sucked. And now I take vitamin B1, I do Wim Hof, but same thing. I get a mental bump, and I get a bump in energy, and I feel good. And then I put the music on and I go hit it. So it's just my new Wim Hof and vitamin B1 are my new uppers. If that doesn't sound crazy enough for you.
I also found because of being so heavy that I breathe really shallow. I don't have like a big deep breath. So I'm not really using my lungs because of the pressure, the weight that I've been carrying. And even still now, I find I'm a shallow breather. So this just reoxygenates my body or whatever. I don't know. And that's why I feel amazing when I do it because
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
definitely
used.
does help you because the deeper oxygen you get in, it helps make new little capillaries into deeper tissue, and that helps heal neuropathy too. And that's why this summer I'm putting together the exercise with oxygen therapy in my garage because I don't have room for it in the house. It's kind of a big pain in the butt, but it's where you breathe in 900 liters of oxygen while you walk on the treadmill or whatever. The goal is to get your pulse to about 130 beats a minute or a little bit over, between 130 and 140, and you breathe in 900 liters of oxygen, and it's the same kind of deal. Is it hyperoxygenates your blood, and it creates new capillaries that feed oxygen to deeper tissue, and it kind of heals the stuff that we have a problem with the edema, that'll heal that tissue and regrow new tissue and heal your mitochondria deeper because you're oxygenating everything a lot better. So it says anyhow. I'm all sold on it. I'm doing it this summer for sure.
The SPG Zoom meetings are so zen. Even though I'm very interested, I find myself getting sleepy and realize I feel so relaxed when I'm on the SPG Zoom call.
You're not the only one. Watch for people falling asleep. It's kind of a fun game to play. who's, who's gonna who's gonna fall asleep on the calls is kind of funny. But no, I feel you because you sit there and it's a good feeling. You listen to all the success stories, and there's something about that just makes you feel so comfortable and happy because you're just everybody's getting healed. It's an amazing thing.
Safe place, yeah.
Absolutely.
Hi, Christy. I have my KetoCon ticket. Just need to buy my plane ticket. Staying with my mum's cousin. Awesome. Definitely see you there. So look out for each other.
Let's see here. Just gonna put that up there. Little shout
Oh,
out to the
yeah.
SPG. Yeah. Oh, you want to put that back up? There you go.
Yeah, Gail and SPG gang now just started too. Did Gail get a prize? I
She
can't
yeah,
remember.
she won. She won
Yeah.
Mm,
we had our giveaway.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
That's awesome. Let's see
Yeah.
here.
Oh, she changed her name, huh? That's Gail now?
Who is Gail?
Lioness.
Yeah, I think so. Sorry.
It's hard to keep up with people changing
It
all their
is.
names. Changing their icons and yeah.
Michael's is always a cute little puppy dog. I always know
My
Michael.
Riley.
Right. Wim Hof. Yeah. It works. It's been a huge benefit for me, the Wim Hof thing, for sure. Let's see here. Trying to make sure my glasses get here next week. They better be here next week.
We've been hearing that for a month.
I know
Yeah.
they put me on back order, but I better have some eyeballs next week because I hate reading these comments so bad. I feel like a 95-year-old man with cataracts. Gosh.
I spurt myself this week and I bought myself a deck chair so that I can go and sit on a beach. So I'm waiting for that. Should be delivered today. So I'm just hanging out for that doorbell and then I'm jumping in the car and going for a drive. 'Cause I don't know
That's
if I sit on the sand, whether I'll be able to get back up again with all the sand moving under me.
Right.
So I thought,
Sink.
I have to tell you guys I need a deck chair. So I'm
Well,
hanging
I
out
want to
for
see
that.
some videos.
Oh God, yeah. And it's beautiful out there today. So
what group is this?
Mm.
Not sure what group that is. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Mike, -20 doesn't feel that cold when it was -53 the day before. That's how that works. it was only -19 here today, but it was -53 yesterday, and I was like, it's like a heat wave out here.
Negative 29 here with the wind right now.
Wow.
I wouldn't even know what that feels like. We just don't get temperatures like that here. Very rarely go in the negatives. Yeah.
Oh, it's not a great feeling. It's when it gets like past -40 and you go outside, you just breathe in, your mustache freezes, your nose
Everything. Yeah, your
freezes, your
nose,
lungs
yeah.
hurt, your eyebrows freeze, your eyes start to dry out immediately because it's like freeze dried and your eyes get real dry and miserable, and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna enjoy this today. uh Here we go.
I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but Michael's mood seems to be much higher and taking part in the conversation much more since he started fasting. Must be feeling great. Keep it up.
I am. I'm feeling good. Feeling more confident. I'm feeling that I got actually something to say now that I got some weight loss behind me.
Oh man, he's a little bit crankier too, though. He's got carnivore confidence, and now
Yeah.
he's just like,
Well-
hold your horses, guys. I'm not doing everything around here.
I have noticed on the fast though, I am a little moody, more. That's just lack
Only,
of having something in my mouth to chew on.
only with you, Todd. He's a gentleman always to me. So
Well, I like you, Lindy. Todd.
Yeah. I was gonna never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Absolutely, he's
yeah.
definitely, man. He's got the carnivore confidence for sure.
It's a real thing. Real
Ha!
thing.
See, somebody loves me, Michael.
Yeah. Must be
Thank
your
you.
sister's account or something.
Thank you very much. Uh,
I'm never on camera during the Zoom. That's okay. I wasn't for a year and a half either. So
I didn't turn mine on right away either.
yeah.
no,
One day you'll just feel like turning it on and
Yeah.
you look back, it just happens when you're ready.
I turned mine on right away. I was like, "You're all just gonna have to deal with it."
We love your attitude.
Let's see.
Sandra, I had a heart and lung specialist tell me to use all the capacity of your lungs with deep breathing when I was in hospital with pneumonia, pleural effusion. I still do this to this day. Yeah, if you don't use it, you lose it, so they say. And I was a shallow breather. I just find
Yep.
doing this Wim Hof has made me a little bit better, going and walking and not getting huffed and puffed as much because I'm actually filling my lungs now. But they were always very deflated. So it definitely helps if you've got a weakness there.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, lungs were always my problem my whole life. Since I was 18. I've said it a bunch before, but my oxygen saturation was 88% when I was 18. And I always got pneumonia or bronchitis every year. Lots of times they'd land me in the hospital for weeks at a time, a few times in the ICU, even. That was real expensive and terrible. Every time that would happen. And it was, they just couldn't figure it out. They called it reactive airway disease, but that was just kind of give me something so that they could, make me feel better that they found something, but they really didn't know.
You.
Yeah. Didn't mean nothing. Didn't heal anything. It didn't, nothing got healed until I was on carnivore and I was doing the Wim Hof and I got completely off oxygen. And now, for the first time, I never, my whole life, I felt I couldn't feel like I could take a full breath, like I always felt like, how now when I take a breath, I feel like I get over the fulcrum point and I feel this fullness all the way down through my diaphragm, all the way to my belly button. Didn't feel that my whole life until I was 39, did carnivore. Now I can breathe all the way through my diaphragm, all the way down to my belly button. And now my oxygen's at 96% saturation with not being on any supplementary home oxygen or anything. And yeah, I mean, it was absolutely 110% healing, I think it's super important. Let's see. Am I missing anything? Answer. There we go.
I figured out what that is.
What?
It's from the theme song from Chips. It is.
That's that show where they had the two guys on the motorcycles, the police.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I watched Ponch and John.
Me and him were talking on the phone one night, and he was doing it, and I knew it sounded so familiar. And sure enough, I played the Chips theme song, and that's exactly what it is.
Oh, I have to listen to it. It's on YouTube, is it? I used to watch it as a kid, but yeah, a long time
That's
ago.
because when I was on the phone with him, I went into the full rand version, like subconscious rendition of it.
And I knew I heard it before. And sure enough, exactly what it is.
Exactly, Michael. There's nothing like 53 below will get you acclimated in a hurry.
So you could just go and do a cold plunge in the snow.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
Or just take a shower and walk outside for a minute. You'll have you a cold plunge. You'll walk back in with ice cubes hanging off of your kiwis for sure. Let's see. That was just
chronic inflammatory response syndrome. Usually you hear about in connection with mold issues in a home. Cool. Maybe you could post the link to the group if others are looking for that. It might help someone else.
Absolutely. Don't give him excuses. He doesn't need excuses.
And they're good steaks too. They look delicious.
They are delicious. I can confirm I ate every bit of every one of them.
Yeah, our steaks are shocking compared to yours. They're so thin and just no fat on them. Tambourine, any tips for boosting?
This is what he sends me this morning.
I did eat all three of those. Two of those are gone. I was like, get in my belly. Those things are gone.
He first asked me, he says, Mike, you still doing your fast today? And I didn't even respond yet. And the next message he posts is the steaks. Thanks, Todd. And then he puts his dinner in here. He's got a chuck roast in the sous vide.
7-pound chuck roast in the sous vide.
Still on your fast?
I did too. I was like, hey, Michael, you still fasting? And then hit him with the three.
Thanks, Todd.
The 3 perfect cooked ribeyes and the 700 pounds or 7 pounds of chuck roast in the sous vide. That was funny. I thought it was hilarious. I was laughing.
This is all this guy does to me.
That's all I
Sends me
can.
pictures of his meat.
Any tips for boosting immune system during cold flu season or medicine options if needed? Not sure if Dr. Barry has a video on it or not. Thanks. Man, since I got the biggest thing, because I used to get sick every winter. And I mean, I would get sick with any cold that came down the pipe. And then I would have it for 3 to 4 months. It felt like I would carry that cold all through the winter. I could never kick those colds. And since I got rid of like everything, got rid of all the dairy and everything and all the seasonings and spices, all the things that I didn't think made a difference. Since I got rid of all that stuff, the caffeine, everything, I haven't been sick since. And I mean, yeah, it's only been a year, but I have gone through basically two, the end of a cold season and the beginning of a new one in the middle of a new one now. I haven't had hide nor hair that I've been around a lot of sick people and other people get it. And I'll feel like I got something for like 2 hours or something. And then it's just gone, they don't stick anymore. And I think priming and eating very strict like BBB&E and priming, I think are the best things you can do for your immune system that I can tell. But that's just from my view. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I've only been sick once on carnivore, and that was after my little wildlife adventure when I went to pet the koala. My girlfriend had taught a class before we got there because she's one of the teachers, and some of the kids were sick in that group, and she obviously then took us around, and I think I must have caught her bug. So she got really sick. She was out of work for over a week, couldn't function. I just had the tickle. I lost my voice, but I was still feeling really good. It was just the nagging cough and that. So obviously, I think it must have been the same simple, similar bug, but I coped a lot better than she did because I'm carnivore and she's obviously not. So I think that really helped me not get as sick as she was. I did take a couple of tablets, I think, later in the week just because I wasn't sleeping. I was just coughing so much, that I couldn't sleep and I wanted to sleep, so I just took something to help me fall asleep at night, and apart from that, I didn't take anything. And I think, Dr. Berry does talk about being sick in one of his videos and not taking anything. If your body needs to cough, let it cough. You need to get this stuff out of your system, so not suppress it by having these medications. But that's just something I heard on one of his videos.
Have you noticed, Michael, that I know it's a little bit early yet, but
Um,
like, have you
I'm
noticed any fighting off colds easier or anything?
I haven't been sick. I'm not
Yeah.
around anybody, so I don't get exposed,
Well, that's something I would say. I haven't really been around people in a long time much, Instacart drivers is about it. And, my sister,
Yeah.
but
About the
man,
only time.
before that didn't stop me from catching it. It's amazing. That's why I like whatever during the cold that shan't be named or whatever when that was going on, like everybody's hiding from him. I'm like, dude, I've been stuck in the house for like 2.5 years and I get every one of them. So I don't know where they come from, but it's on your groceries, it's on your money, it's on your mail. It's like everywhere. Because I just caught every one of them before. So I was like, yeah, we're not, we're not going to skip this thing by saying,
I think our immune system is just so much more stronger now.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I've been doing my sprints in our 33-degree mornings, but I can't bring myself to do the cold shower plunge thing. I'm with you there. I don't like the cold.
For sure. Let's see. Am I missing anybody? I'm looking for questions here. All right. Well, what do you think? What should we kind of caught up on questions? Do we want to open up the chat lines? What are you guys thinking?
I got a guest coming up.
Oh, do you? Right on.
Yep.
Oh,
Michael's just doing work. He feels it. He's like, Todd's not keeping people entertained. I'm gonna
That's
pull
not-
his butt out of the fire.
I
let's
like
see.
What have you got for us, Michael?
Me too. I'm gonna tell Michael that I got a guest too, and then I'm gonna bring a giant picture of my ribeye on for him. Let's
So
see
with
here.
this special guest coming, or
We'll see.
we'll see.
Oh,
Okay.
Michael's working on stuff. He's just he's pulling
Always
his weight.
doing stuff behind the scenes, guys.
He is. He's the conductor of this circus.
In the chat, who is this special guest? Who do you think Michael's bringing on board? Because I have absolutely no idea.
I have no clue. I really don't. It could be anybody. It could be his Instacart driver, maybe.
It's my old pizza driver. He wants to make sure that I'm still alive.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna come on and go, RP. He's gonna need a GoFundMe because their pizza joint went out of business, just like my DoorDash driver when I started going carnivore. Michael is the ultimate multitasker for sure.
Yeah, he keeps us grounded. If it wasn't for Michael, we'd fall apart.
Oh, is Keith the guy? You bringing Keith on? That was exactly what I would say. Sounds like a good cover story. But put in the chat, guys, are you doing anything? Like, are you doing anything new for, or how is it going if you are doing anything new for World Carnivore Month? I'd be curious to see how yours is going. Mine's going pretty good. I'm keeping up with the exercises and the lion diet, except for I added back in Tabasco sauce because I wanted that vinegar. But that's it so far.
I was excited for Carnivore Month, and I haven't eaten anything, so kind of missing out halfway through.
Hello, Lindy. You all caught me meal prep for the week. Hi, Yoli. That's good. Good to meal prep. What are you making?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe
what are you making?
you close your eyes, Michael. About cooking, what would cause the steak to leave a greasy film in the roof of your mouth? Not cooked long enough? Oh, okay.
Greasy film. I mean, I have so many questions. Like, what are you cooking it on? What temperature are you cooking it on? How long are you cooking it? What kind of steak is it? How thick is it? And like, is it grass fed, grass finished, or is it like grass fed, grain finished, or grain fed, grain finished? There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you using to cook with your steak with?
Yeah. I'm confused. Oh, there we go. Carolina.
Hi.
That's a nice surprise.
How are you?
Good. Well, how are you, Carolina? What are you up to?
I'm good. Not much. Just catching your live stream.
We are just hanging out with the carnivore crew here.
Nice.
So Michael, he was working behind the scenes and
Yep.
roped you into it.
Yep.
Nice.
Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell everyone a little about yourself and what you do.
Sure. I'm actually a moderator for SBG, not a coach yet. Hopefully, eventually. I joined the gang last January. So my sort of official carniversary was at the beginning of the year as well. And I had dabbled with carnivore for a while. Ketovore, carnivore, it's hard when you're not doing it with other people. So before I found the community and roped my mom into it, she started with me last January as well. And we lived together, and it just makes it so much easier because I would get a lot of pushback from her and other family members like, you're just going to eat me. You all have heard it all.
Yeah, we all have, yes.
Yeah. So once she decided to get on board, it made it So much easier. Um, so yeah, what else? What else can I tell you? I obviously I feel the best when I'm strictly carnivore. And I've done different iterations like everyone has. Like I'm dairy free for January because I had cut it out last year for a while. Definitely felt a difference. I had like this cyst on my neck and it went away totally. And then I reintroduced dairy and I feel like it brought back the inflammation. And so um that was one of the reasons why I cut it out again for at least this month. It's hard because
You miss them. Yeah.
you get variety, right?
Mhm.
From eating, cheese and whatever, but
Who doesn't love cheese? Yeah, I know.
it's an easy grab and go thing too. So, you have to plan a little bit better, I feel like. And so that's fine. I do love steaks though, so it's all good.
Yeah. And you're very involved with the Dr. Sean Amira and his sprinting protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
January, he has a challenge. It's 1 sprint a day. So I've been doing that. And Amy started an Amara protocol group on WhatsApp. And Roseanne and I help her kind of answer questions, and stuff like that. Because there was a stretch there when she was in the hospital. So we, definitely needed to pinch hit for her. So yeah, I've gotten really involved in that as well. And then last September, a coach that works with him, he did a sprint challenge. And you just had to do 16. You did have to video them though and upload them to a Discord server. But it wasn't for time or anything. You just had to do a minimum of 16 sprints that were I think the minimum was 15 seconds and they could be a little bit longer, and 1 400 meter. And which was not a sprint for me. And, and I told him, full disclosure, I had to walk in the middle. Like, I don't run.
Right.
I've never,
Right.
but the sprinting is fun. It's pretty addictive. You feel really good afterwards. It's quick and, and the whole point of it is just max effort, whatever that means for you. So yeah, that's been fun.
So where
That
do you
sounds
do it?
good.
Do you go to a park or something, or just in your backyard, or?
You can do it pretty much anywhere, but because I live in Florida and it's not that cold, I mean, it's been cold for us. It's been kind of cold and damp, which is unusual. But yeah, I just go to the park. I walk my dogs every day, so sometimes I'll do it with them. And yeah, I just get it in when I can. And since for January, it's just 1 a day. You can do more, obviously, but that's the challenge. So yeah, it's pretty easy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Here's a question from Keith.
Carolina.
I think I found SBG from a video, I think my cousin, it was funny because it was about the time that Elizabeth Bright was making a big splash with her, butter, right? A stick of butter a day. And so my cousin sent me the video and I had just seen Bella interviewing her, and that's what got me interested. And I thought, a challenge and joining a group, like, because finding your tribe is so important just in life, right? So that made the biggest difference for me. I love being part of the community.
And it is an amazing community. Yep.
I went to KetoCon last year. So that was another thing. Like, I went by myself. I hadn't met anyone. So I met Emily and Raymond, stalked them a little bit. Didn't know Bella was going to be there, not going to be there, obviously, until like right before, but she'll be there this year. So that's all good.
Yeah.
And it made a big difference. I felt more, people were talking earlier about not being on camera. I was never on camera either early on if I didn't have to be. I shared a little here and there, but otherwise I wouldn't be. And, but after I met them, it made a huge difference. And then Emily, of course, called me out one day when I had turned the camera on, and she's like, "Oh, it's so nice to see your face." And I was like, "Okay, I've been totally called out, and now I basically always have to be on camera. Okay, it'll be fine."
Yeah. You kind of get over that fear, don't you? At the
You
start, it's just you
do.
don't want to show anyone, but now it's like, who cares? You know, I'm in here for the long haul. I feel great.
Yep.
It's just like that fear disappears. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the gang, everybody's so encouraging of everyone else.
There.
I shared my NSV, on Friday, which was impromptu, but I was thinking about it more, and I wasn't sure that I totally got across that the non-scale victory was that friendship that I got out of being a part of this group, and I haven't met Roseanne in person, but it doesn't matter. She's part of the Omara thing too, but it's just, it's incredible to have people that you don't even know, rooting for you, you know,
Yeah.
because sometimes it's hard for us to notice the changes.
Yeah, we don't see it.
Yeah.
We see ourselves every day. We don't see anything. Yeah.
Right. And I try to do the pictures and stuff, but sometimes I forget, and I haven't really shared them yet. I shared them in the chat with some of you. I need to do like a little write up, or whatever, and share it in the gang. But I think you were there, Keith, when when Emily totally called me out.
Keith is always there. He's like that little gnome that hides.
Yeah. I love
Smiling
seeing him
gnome.
in there though too.
Keith is part of the foundation, I'd say.
Yeah.
That dude's rock solid.
We're lost without him.
Mr. Thumbs Up.
And smiles, thumbs up and smiles.
And you're working on a podcast? How's that going? Is that going to be going
We
live
haven't-
soon? Or
We haven't started yet. We're going to do our first one this coming week, kind of like our
Right.
origin story, In fact, I was just making a list of questions for Amy. And yeah, I think it'll be fun. Like, I love what you guys have going on because I'm sure it's easier, right, Lindy? I mean, I know you've done a lot of solo videos, but I think that would just be so difficult, like just talking into the camera. I really admire that you do it, and they're great. They're entertaining. I love them. But I don't think I would start that way. I would have a hard time.
Yeah.
So when Amy
I do
agreed,
struggle.
yeah. When Amy agreed to do it with me, I was like, okay, this will be good then. We can tag team some interviews and just have fun, We don't want it
Yeah.
to be 100% carnivore centric. We want to talk about other things too, and be real about it, right? Because like Todd was saying about the vinegar, so what? Who's going to come and get your carnivore card? I
Right.
mean,
Mm,
do we really need carnivore police? Get over it, people. You do what you need to do
Yeah.
to get through.
Well,
And
and
as
it's
long
more
as you feel good.
right,
So
and
what?
it's important to really be honest about it and not be scared about it. The real reason I love carnivore is because the sad diet was where I was always full of shame for falling off and not being able to be perfect enough and not do all these things. Now, the reason why this works is because it's easy, because you listen to your body, you give it what it wants. When it has what it wants, it heals. And I'm no longer an addict. So I don't, my body's no longer pretending to tell me that I really need pizza and cheesecake to heal. That's what my old, addict brain said. I don't have that anymore. Now it's like, you need some vinegar with your steak. And then I eat vinegar with my steak. And you know what? I get more energy out of it and I feel good and it digests faster and it feels good, And
Yeah.
to say that maybe I shouldn't try to address why my stomach wants vinegar to digest things better, because maybe that's a digestive problem. That could be it too. But the important part is, how stupid is it? How stupid is it to say that, to be okay with cheese and dairy when I know that does way more harm to me than the vinegar does. The vinegar only
Yeah.
helps me, but it's not necessarily in that framework of that box that we put ourselves in with this thing. And it's like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to be perfectly imperfect, whatever, and just put it out there. This is what I'm actually doing, and it's either working or it's not. And I'm going to try to do better. But basically, it's a process,
Yeah. I think
So
it's wonderful. Do you guys see or follow Meat Dad on Instagram? He's
No, I
a like
haven't.
he's a 20-year butcher.
hmm.
And I think I found him like maybe through Laura Spath or one of them. And I started following him. Well, he's doing carnivore this month for World Carnivore. And
Oh,
and he was making a recipe and he used some hot sauce and he's like, I don't know if y'all are going to come for me. And like Laura Spath and a lot of the OG carnivores were like, do you do
Mhm.
what you need to do to get through. And she's very much like that too, which I love. Um, in the Omara protocol, we were all talking about what we do on our fasting days and what supplements we take. Cause that's a whole other like potentially taboo subject with carnivore, right? You shouldn't
yeah.
need to supplement, but come on, let's be real. So I listed like pretty much everything that I could think of in the moment. And Amy was like, oh, we're like spilling it all. And I was like, I just did. And so then, she came out with her whole list and was like, oh, I feel so much better. And I'm like, I'm so glad I was the catalyst for your unburdening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, nobody should have, this isn't a contest. This isn't the military. We're
Right.
not perfect people, but if we start worrying about those things, like all we really got to worry about is it good for us or is it bad for us? And what is the net result better for us, right? Well, I can tell you that if I didn't add the hot sauce to my meat, I was going to fail lion diet because I couldn't keep eating meat with no salt on it. Like
Salt,
I was
right.
getting aversion quickly. I couldn't take it. I was like, oh, this is not good. I have no appetite for this,
So you cut out salt,
right now. What I'm not, yeah, I cut out all salt.
but that's part of lion. Water, beef, salt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I have no
Oh, you
problem
were
with it.
just doing it.
I'm doing it for my
Yeah.
for
Oh,
my edema.
okay.
And
Yeah.
and that was one of my problems with adding the Tabasco in is it has a little bit of salt, but I quickly did the amount and I took the amount of salt that I would normally put on a steak because I know how many pinches I would take. I have a big bucket, I just take pinches out and I put it on a scale and I measured it. And then I did it and I was having about 3,500 milligrams of salt per steak is what I was putting on it. Now, let's say that only half of it absorbed because some of it would cook off and run out.
Right.
That's still, but I would still eat 2 steaks at a time. So I'm still getting around 3,000 milligrams. And then I looked at how much I did and I weighed out my Tabasco I was using. And I was getting about 350 milligrams of salt in the Tabasco. So I'm like, this is 1/10 of the salt that I would normally eat. So this is good progress. It makes me feel better and it makes this meat go down and it's palatable. So am I better off having the Tabasco feeling good, digesting it better, and staying on lion, or failing it altogether because I'm being some purist trying to live up to something silly that makes me fall off of it. So I'm like, I'm not doing that. I want to get the most benefit out of this I can,
Right.
and that means I have to make it sustainable for the long haul. So this is what I got to do. I just got to make I got to call an audible here and do what I got to do, and it's working great now. I mean, I'm loving the steak. I had 4 ribeyes yesterday and 2 already today. I mean, they're going down great now. So
There
I have no
probably
problem.
is something to it too. The vinegar probably does help you digest. Lots and lots of us have low stomach acid.
I
I,
think it
I
I think it has to be because I feel so much more energy when I eat like if I eat a belly full of steak and I don't have the vinegar, I just feel kind of low energy when I eat it. When I have whether I take a shot of apple cider vinegar, whether I have drink sauerkraut juice or even pickle juice, if I do either one of those, or if I put a bunch of Tabasco on it, those things, all of a sudden I get a shot of energy. Like I've got a really nice buzz of energy from the 2 ribeyes I just ate with the vinegar. I don't know why, but I get way more energy, like double the energy out of the steak when I have vinegar with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you know
Mm.
you're doing something right because otherwise you would feel sleepy.
Yeah.
I think that's a better indicator. Like you ate something and now you feel sleepy, you got to go take a nap.
That's what
Probably not ideal.
that's almost, I don't feel like I got to take a nap, but I feel like I'm going to have to when I don't have vinegar with a bunch of fatty meat. I get slowed down and I get bogged down, and I even get kind of burpy, like, which is
Mm.
unusual for me. I don't usually burp when I have, meat, but when I have the vinegar, I get the exact opposite of that, man. It it burns it up, like it's just gone. The pressure's gone from my stomach really quickly. And then, I mean, I just ate 3 pounds of ribeye and 2 hours ago, and I'll be eating another 3 pounds of ribeye in another 2 hours, the way that it's going right now. And I have no regrets about that whatsoever.
I'm
And I
going to use
feel
some
fantastic.
Tabasco next time.
Try it. Tell me what you
Yeah.
think. My sister tried it today, and she goes, I don't like Tabasco. And then she was eating it, and she's like, this is oddly making my stomach feel good. I'm like, right? It's weird, but it helps my stomach. I don't know why. And then she's like, I'm gonna try that again tomorrow and see, because she goes, I eat, because she was, she's got the lap band. She goes, that went down a lot easier than it normally does. And I was like, that's interesting.
Maybe Lindy needs to try that.
Yeah, well, I tried the hot sauce the other day. My daughter had some, and that went down really well. I loved it. Just a different flavor. Just made the steak a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I definitely would like to get some.
Do you have red Tabasco in your country?
Yeah, we do. I'll have to have a look for some. I don't have any here, obviously, but I will. I think Scott, my husband's going to drop by and get some dog food, so I might add that to the list. Get some Tabasco. Or
I
some
don't
hot
look
sauce.
I don't look
Mhm.
at too many hot sauces, but the reason why I said on that one, because there's only 3 ingredients. It's just salt,
Yeah,
vinegar, and cayenne pepper. That's it.
yeah.
Same
So
with
just add,
Louisiana hot sauce as well. It's
Is
only
it?
a 3. Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I use.
Yeah, so that's the only reason why I got that one. My favorite hot sauce back in the day when I was eating hot sauce was Cholula's, but it's creamy and weird, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be something bad.
Something else in there, yeah.
Yeah. Look at the
Who's this?
baby.
What's your
This is
dog's name?
Luna. She won't leave me
Luna?
alone, so I
Yeah.
figured
Oh,
Just pick
she
her
could
up.
make an appearance.
Oh, she just wants to be with you.
Yeah.
She's doing pretty good. We've had lots of Chihuahuas, and my mom's got one out in the living room. Name's Ginger, but they always look like a football because we overfeed them. So they're just
She's a
like,
little chubby right now. She steals the cat's food. I feed them all raw, though, a raw prey diet. So,
That's
but
awesome.
she's just getting more portions because the cat will
mm,
graze and then she eats the rest. So,
Yeah.
How old is
Very-
she?
um, she's probably like 8 or so.
Yeah,
My dogs are always like, I never go out and look for dogs or get puppies. They just follow my lap because somebody didn't want them anymore
Right.
or whatever.
yeah,
So that's why I have to stop and think, wait, how old is she probably? I think she's like 8.
yeah.
Hey, puppy. It is called bureaucracy. You're 100% right. That is the word for it for sure. Let's see here. I missed one other.
Sarah, Todd, did you ever try?
I don't know what that
What's
is.
that?
Utica?
I went from almost lifelong vegetarian vegan, no stomach acid to successful meat fat digester. I'm not into supplements, but Tadka was a game changer. Have you
I'm
heard
gonna
of
write
that,
it.
Carolina?
No, I haven't. I've
I'm
heard of
writing it down
digestive
right now, though.
enzymes, ox bile for people without a gallbladder, all kinds of stuff.
Mm,
There's lipase. Amy took lipase at first to be able to digest the fats.
I've never
I-
tried it, but I'm gonna definitely look into it, because if it was, I know that when I started taking the amino acids, I didn't realize when I was doing primings, when I found out, oh, I do have a digestive problem, because it was taking me 7 to 8 hours to digest one meal of food. See, I didn't know that my entire time, because when I started doing carnivore, I was OMAD the entire time. I did OMAD it from the very beginning. I would only eat 1 meal a day. So I thought, oh, this is normal. Well, when Raymond was like, you need to eat 3 meals a day, I'm like, how? There's not 30 hours in the day and it takes me like 10 hours to digest a meal. Like, what am I supposed to do? I go back and my stomach's still full of meat. What am I supposed to do with that? And but after priming and taking massive amount of amino acids, one day I just woke up and I digested, like I was hungry, and I put down 4 pounds of meat, and 3.5 hours later it digested, and I put down another 4 pounds of meat. And I was like, okay, yeah, I had a bit of a digestive problem before.
Freaking machine, huh?
Yeah, now I'm knocking it out of the park, and it's really doing it now. But it's not so much, I wouldn't call it, it probably is digestion too, but I think it's whatever. I think if I had to guess, I have a gallbladder problem, because I don't think I'm putting out the bile that breaks down fats or emulsifies fats. You use vinegar to, like, let's say you put vinegar or lemon juice in mayonnaise to make mayonnaise, right? Because it emulsifies the fat. We use vinegar around here to cut grease off of dishes and stuff like that, because it emulsifies it. Well, that's the only thing I can think of that happens is when I have a bunch of vinegar with the fat, it breaks it down, and then my body can digest it and turn it into energy quicker. I think is what's happening. I think I'm absorbing it quicker, because I do think that one thing that I'm still trying to heal, that I think I suffer from, is I do think I have that mitochondrial disease, or whatever you call it, dysfunction. Like, I think I have a slow mitochondria system. I think I turn things to energy kind of slow. So I think that's why I crave it so much, because I can just tell, Michael, you've been fasting now for what, 14 days?
Yep.
And he's still his metabolism hasn't tanked yet. My metabolism tanked on day 5, and I stopped losing weight just like that, got tired, and I just felt it shut down. And that, I forget that guy that Emily and Raymond were talking about in our live stream the other day that was in the chat, but he said something that was profound to me, because he said, if you have a low energy problem on a fast, you have a mitochondrial defect. You're not defect, but you have a slow mitochondria, and it needs to be healed. And
Harry
I was like,
Soprano.
yeah,
Harry Soprano.
Harry Soprano.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I've been thinking about that, because I'm like, that just resonates with me. I think I'm the poster boy for slow mitochondria that's got to heal.
You're the poster boy for something, all right.
But so that's why I wonder if that's what it's doing. I think it's emulsifying the fat faster, and it's assisting my mitochondria into making energy. I think is what is happening.
And speaking of eating,
Tyler, I'm doing carnivore at 10 eggs today, and was thinking how crazy it is that Todd was able to eat 36 in one day.
Like a boss. So all you got to do is eat 3 meals a day, incorporate 12 eggs in each one of those meals, and a pound of meat, and then just, go for it. You just got to drop the hammer on it. And the first 3 weeks sucked for sure. The first 3 weeks I was like hating life. I couldn't sleep. I was going to bed just green behind green behind my ears, and just sweating with the meat sweats, because I was so full. But after 3 weeks, I'm like, this ain't so hard. my diet's, my appetite started opening up, and then it's actually not too bad. But the pro hack there is definitely don't eat the whites. Instead of doing 12 full eggs, do 15 yolks, and then do what Lindy does and mix it in with like a gravy into your ground beef. That goes down real easy, and you still get all the DHEA in it. So
you didn't have to have all those whites. You could have just had the yolks, and that would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
that would have been a lot easier
for sure.
Yeah, I don't mind the whites.
You would if you had 36 of them.
Well, yeah, yeah.
Every day. The whites were the worst part. Like, I didn't like them raw. I didn't like them cooked. I didn't like them boiled. I didn't like them fried. Like, the whites is like, why am I eating this nasty cooked mucus looking stuff all the time? Like, I'm just over it. That was the worst part. And it's so much easier. And the white is like 2/3 of the eggs in volume.
Oh, I know. Yeah. So yeah, you're just
And
wasting
it's-
space. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Yeah.
so much easier to do 15 yolks. And 15 yolks, like 85% of the DHEA is in the yolk. So if you just add 3 more eggs, to each one of the, or
Makes up the
I guess
difference.
9. Yeah, it
Need
makes
to
up
even
the
get
difference,
more.
and you're
Yeah.
still eating like less than half the volume.
Right.
Way easier.
Mm.
Plus, it was just easier on my stomach. Egg whites truly are harder on your stomach.
I find they give me sulfur burps. I start
Mhm.
burping and tasting sulfur in my mouth, and that can last 2 or 3 days. So,
Yeah.
so I don't like the whites at all.
Nope. But yeah, if you do 15 of the yolks 3 times a day, which I get it, I honestly, it was annoying because separating 45 egg yolks a day sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, God, I hate this. But I do the water bottle trick. Have you done the water bottle trick? That works. So you just
What's
crack
that?
it. You crack it in the bowl, and then you squeeze the water bottle, put the water bottle over the yolk, and it'll suck up just the yolk, and the whites will drop out.
Drop out. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
sit there.
cool.
Yeah, and it
Sure,
works.
there's a YouTube video on it.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
how I do it, because it was just the easiest, and it doesn't get your fingers all slimy and nasty, because otherwise you're doing that. I don't know, you're doing that little thing, and then
Yeah,
it's
Yeah,
all.
I do
shells.
that.
I
I
hate
do
that.
that.
But I end up wearing it.
You milk the cow? We got another question that we missed from earlier before.
About cooking, what would cause a
No,
steak to
we asked a follow-up question
Oh, did we?
on this. Yeah, because you were bringing in Carolina when that
Oh,
happened.
okay. I didn't know we
I
touched. I was
didn't see.
busy.
Did she ask? Because we had a lot of follow-up questions on that.
cook your beef in? And yeah, I don't know what the greasy film is. Have you any ideas, Carolina?
what's that?
What would cause a steak to have a greasy film in the roof of your mouth, not cooked long enough?
I don't know. Could be the type of steak. Like sometimes the fat is kind of like waxy. It could depend on, how it was fed, how it was raised. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only kind of grease, honestly, it's like the machine oils that leave greasy films in my mouth. It's never usually,
The seed
it's-
oils.
yeah, it's
Mm.
always the seed oils and the soybean oil and all that stuff that leaves the funny films. It's never usually animal fat, so I don't know what that would be either.
I just love fat. I always have since I was a
The
kid.
only thing that could happen is if you are cooking it in a cast iron skillet that's been seasoned with a bad oil. I have had that be funky because that oil absorbs in your cast iron, and it'll come out on all your steaks. And that can cause, when you put 2 dissimilar oils together, that can cause things to be kind of funky. I have had that happen before. So maybe if it's very common for people to use a grapeseed oil to to temper and to season their cast iron with. So that might be getting on your stuff, and I can't stand that stuff. It is gross. That leaves a film in my mouth for sure.
I just air fry everything, so I don't use any extra oils or butter or anything. It's nice and easy.
Yeah. I don't see any preservatives on the label on the Tabasco. I couldn't tell you for sure that it doesn't, but at the end of the day, to me, when I try it, if it has an adverse effect, then I just drop it. In
I
my
think
diets,
probably vinegar is a preservative.
probably, yeah. I
Right?
guess
yeah,
you kind of
yeah.
think it would be, right?
Yeah, look, they use it with pickles. So
Yeah, it's probably, I think, why fermentation came about, right? To make things cellar
Yeah.
stable,
That
shelf
makes sense.
stable. Yeah.
That makes good sense because I just vinegary things, whether it be back in the day kimchi or even sauerkraut or any of those things, man. I just all pickled things like I used to love when I was doing keto. I used to love pickled asparagus was my favorite, spicy pickled asparagus, And man, those things always made my stomach feel good, and maybe that's why, for sure.
Well, it helps your microbiome.
Mm.
And I think
Um,
anyone that has had weight issues has had gut issues. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how I lost the first 100 pounds. I healed leaky gut.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's probably a real big one, and leaky gut runs through my family. That's how I'm pretty sure how my brother got MS was from leaky gut,
Oh yeah.
because that's a big contributor. There we go.
What's the best things you've all experienced while being carnivore?
Weight
Boy.
loss. Weight loss and becoming free from all the addictions of sugar and carbs. For me, I didn't know I was addicted to all that until I got on this side, and I see it now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I
Finding that
agree.
off switch for me, having that off switch, so now I can just, get on with my life and do
Yep.
things, not have to be 100% focused on food 24/7, living my life, getting that back.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, that's so hard. That's a hard question. Like what is the best thing? Man, there's so many best things.
Getting your life back, your freedom, all that.
Well, I can walk again.
Yeah, breathe.
That's pretty
You can
huge.
breathe.
I can breathe again.
No
That's
oxygen.
huge.
Yep.
I don't have to live on oxygen anymore. I'm not waking up every day wondering if I'm going to die in my sleep, which I did for the last, I don't know, at least the last 10 months before I started carnivore,
I used
you
to
know.
have inhalers here. I can't find them. I got rid of them. I used to
Right.
have like 3 different types of inhalers with steroids and all this stuff so I can breathe, open up
Yeah,
my
I
lungs.
mean,
I don't
I
use
would
them
get
anymore.
gout. I would get gout about every 4 weeks. That would last about a week and a half to 2 weeks. I couldn't walk at all. I mean, I was screwed. I was already screwed before that. I was double screwed when I got gout. That was terrible. That was misery. My lungs, I whistled all the time. I would wake myself up listening to my own lungs whistle at night.
Yep. Yep.
I'd be on the phone. Michael was that way when
Yeah,
we
when we
first
first
started.
started
Yeah.
talking, I used to wheeze
Yeah,
all
and
the
that
time.
was when I
Yep.
knew Michael was really kicking in carnivore because he stopped wheezing in the phone. And I'm like, and it was funny. And I knew that so well. I never mentioned it to him because I
Well,
knew that.
you eventually did. You told me, and yeah.
Well, after you stop whistling, I didn't tell
Yeah.
you when you're whistling. I
No.
didn't tell you till you stopped
Right.
because
Yeah.
I didn't want to make you feel bad because
Oh.
I knew what that was like. Because my brother would be like, "What's that sound?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I don't hear it." It's because I knew what it was, but I didn't want to tell him. Well, that's my bagpipe like lungs whistling in the damn phone here because they're just inflamed all the time and I can't freaking breathe.
I can breathe through my nose again. I've been plugged up for 30 years. I couldn't breathe through my nose at all. I had to breathe through
Yeah,
my mouth all the time. Now I breathe through my nose all the time. It's unreal.
yeah. I mean,
Mm.
my eyesight getting better. I can drive a car again, like I'm not a prisoner to my body or this house or anything anymore. I can do whatever I want. I have a future again. I'm not an addict of anything. I used to be an addict of a lot of things, and I'm not an addict of anything anymore. It's completely gone. So, man, I don't even know. And I now know what my body like. I can actually truly hear what my body wants and I can give it to it. Like I can watching my body heal my body is pretty crazy because it does better for itself than all the money that I spent on doctors in my life. They never touched it. And now my body's just over here like miracle hands just healing itself. It's amazing. God built quite a machine here. It's yeah, so I don't even begin to know what is the greatest. It's just every day it gets
All of it.
better.
All of it
Yeah.
is just amazing.
Yeah, that's such
Carolina,
a tough one.
how about you?
For me, it was priming, which gave me the food freedom, because I had like dabbled with carnivore before, but like really getting to that completely nourished state. And during that process, learning how to listen to your body, as Todd was just referencing, um, total game changer. And the carnivore zen you get like at the beginning, I don't feel it quite as intensely as I did. Um, but maybe it's just something that kind of ebbs and flows sometimes, but definitely, I mean, generally speaking, calmer, feeling calmer. Did you see Keith's comment though that his best thing from being
Uh,
carnivore is one of my best experiences while being carnivore is listening to Todd's stories.
I think he's got one for us later, haven't you?
Yeah, I do.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll go over that
So wait
one.
till
Yeah,
the end of the show.
for sure. That's funny. You're the man, Keith. Let's see.
Sucking up to Todd, huh? I see.
No, it's because some people like me, Michael.
Yeah.
You're just a little moody because I've been sending in food pits while you're on your marathon
Yeah.
fast.
Anybody else would leave too.
For sure.
Not
Plus,
nice.
hey, it's just the way it is. It's how our relationship works. When you're sad, I send you hairy
Yeah,
tit pics.
yeah, I know. Yeah.
When you're fasting, I send you ribeye pics. It takes the good with the bad, Michael.
I know. I appreciate it.
I'm definitely going to give that a try. Well, I'm going to research it anyhow, Sarah.
I
but
never
yeah,
heard of it before. Huh?
me either, but that's got me definitely wanting to look into it.
Hmm.
He does.
Oh, thank you.
And so does
got-
Carolina.
Aw,
Yes, it's always beautiful.
you guys are
Todd-
so sweet. I'll
Todd,
send you
not so
checks
much.
later.
Whatever, Michael. Look right here. Look right here. I've got somebody that still likes me.
One.
I'll take it when I can
Oh,
get. I
two with Keith.
I
Should
got two.
set up a poll. Set up a poll in the community.
We appreciate it, Sarah, for sure. This carnivore community is awesome. It's just
It
just
is
is awesome.
one of the best communities I have ever found online. And I've been online for a very long time.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we get our trolls every now and then, but this is the fewest troll community I've ever been in part of in my life. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Sarah.
Yes, I agree.
I got to follow up a question. Even Michael?
Yeah.
For sure.
Hey,
Michael's killing it. I mean, what's your total pounds lost now in 14 days?
on 14 days, 44 pounds.
40.
Wow.
Pounds.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, good Lord. I feel great for the guy and terrible for him at the same time. Like, I want him to keep losing, but I also want the guy to eat something.
How are you doing though, Michael? Like, do you feel like, oh my God, I just want to eat, or are you rolling with it?
I'm rolling with it.
I would think at this point you would.
Mornings are my hardest. It
Yeah.
takes me a while to get my energy up, but once I get it, now I'm flying high. I got so much energy now. I won't be able to sleep again tonight. I can't turn it off at night. I wish I could. That's the biggest problem I probably have is turning off the energy at night so I can go to sleep.
Huh.
And I'll lay there for 2 hours before I can fall asleep. That's a struggle. I hate it.
Keith's the man. Keith's got such a good attitude. Let's see.
I don't think I laughed for years until I met Todd and Michael, and now I've laughed so much in the last few months.
Laughter's the best.
Yeah.
Well, we all have so much to laugh for. I mean, we all got second chances at life, you know?
Never looking back, I would never expect this.
For
Never
sure.
thought that this would happen.
Texas is going to have to watch out when we all get there. They're going to be in shock.
Speaking of your fasting buddy in crime, Michael.
There he is. Hey, Brett.
Yeah, Brett. Michael gave you a shout out. He knows he's on a long fast as well.
12-day fast. He just finished up. Congratulations. He lost 20.7 pounds.
Nice.
Amazing.
And if you don't follow him, I'm going to post his channel again.
That'd be awesome. Here's a fellow vinegar lover. For sure, Sarah. Woo, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go back.
I was just going to say, I have never tried kimchi, so I'll have to add that to my list
I
one
never
day.
tried it.
I love kimchi. Oh, man, I love kimchi. Man, kimchi and what is that? Bulgogi beef or whatever? I forget how you say that. But, man, is it good. Woo.
Wow.
Now, that's one.
I've never tried it.
I had some, and I don't know if there's such a thing as bad pickled quail eggs versus good pickled quail eggs. When we were working in North Dakota, they have a store called Menards, which is hilarious in itself. There's a store called Menards. But yeah, Menards had these sections of pickled everything. And I bought a big jar of pickled quail eggs, and they were god awful. I did not like those pickled quail eggs.
They probably sat on a shelf for a very long time, I bet.
Yeah, and they could have been bad. And I was like, I don't know if I just got a bad batch, because generally I love deviled eggs with a bunch of vinegar in them. I love boiled eggs, and I love pickled stuff. So I thought I was going to love these, but these tasted like sulfury butt nuggets or something. I mean, it was gross. They were the worst thing I'd ever seen. So we used to go to Hardee's and get them all these loaded omelet biscuit sandwiches in the morning, take them to the whole crew. And that morning I hit a pickled quail egg and everybody's loaded omelet biscuits, and about everybody almost threw up unanimously when they got to it.
Oh, they were probably bad.
That was so funny. I had to go back and get everybody more loaded omelet biscuits, but it was worth it. The good old days. Let's see here. I still remember that. That was funny. Am I missing any questions? I can't wait till I get my glasses next week. Next week is a big week. I ordered a Rogue adjustable weight bench because I'm going to start, getting beefy, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to start lifting anyway. See if I can't retain some muscle, and just very light. I only got barbells. I was like, how I can refrain from doing something stupid and hurt myself is not order any heavy weights. So I ordered 5 pound, 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 and 25 pound dumbbells. And I'm like, that's all I'm ordering right now.
All you need. Yep.
Until I tackle these with high reps, I'm not going to do anything stupid. I don't heal like I used to heal when I was a kid.
None of us do.
That is a fact. Let's see. Mike's making country songs.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah. Here's a good shout out too.
Oh, I was telling her that Dr. O'Mara would approve of her ferments.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I don't know. This might be controversial and I'm probably going to get in trouble. Definitely with Chafee. Chafee would probably hate my guts, but man, I am a Christian and I just don't believe that all vegetables can possibly be bad, or in fruits, but I think we probably screwed them up through, crossbreeding seeds and whatever. Obviously something's gone horribly wrong. We've been screwing a lot of things up, but I believe that if you find one that's got a positive benefit and doesn't seem to have a negative benefit, it's worth being honest about and find out why and where it goes. Like, I can't believe that everything that grows from the ground in a tree and a bush, that they're all trying to kill you. I do think we way overdid it. And I think that was by design. And I'm fully following the carnivore thing saved my life. Keto didn't, so I'm totally believe that. But I also think that it's probably because we don't know everything that happened to the fruits and vegetables and what we really kind of evolved on. And plus, I bet we can tolerate those things a lot better, if nothing else, when we're healthy on meat. It was when we took them out and we started screwing with the meat and not being healthy and then adding those things back in. But I don't believe in drawing that line where you can't ever find something fermented, or I just don't believe there's not any positive to everything just because it's not an animal product. I believe there's probably something there that we need to research more and understand better is all,
I think that's why fermentation came about, though, right? It's trying to mitigate all the phytotoxins and things and make things more digestible. And so, yeah, I'm with you, Todd. Those absolutes.
Yeah. I mean, if you just make an absolute, I mean, that's like that's like the term the science, right? Like as soon as you say that the science is settled, well, then you stop learning. You stop really finding out what the real science is. You stop really finding out what the answer is. As soon as you just say all things that grow from the ground can't be eaten, well, then we're going to never know, because we're not going to actually do the real research on it and find out. And I think we all just got to be honest with what those things do. I'm just resolved at the fact that I suck as a person, on those things, because it had a way negative effect on me, and this is working. And so until I get a lot smarter and understand it a lot better, I'm going to stay away from it, because I don't know what are the bad things and the harmful things. And I know that this has been much safer for me, so I totally get it. But when you fall upon one little thing that feels good and it has a positive benefit, I just feel like we got to be honest about that and not freak out because it didn't come from a muscle group somewhere, But I don't know. I get a lot of flack for that too. So
Yeah.
and I know, yeah, Trish, I know that's confrontational or whatever. Fermentation is an instance makes of veggies.
I think a lot of people, though, like look at Rebecca Heischman. She added in a bunch of things that you would consider non-carnivore, and she does so in moderation, and she
Right.
knows what works for her and what doesn't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, especially once you've healed, once you've, and she had a laundry list of things. She nearly died.
Right.
From C. diff and different things. And look at her now. She just had a beautiful baby. Things change, and we should be allowed to evolve and to heal, and to live our lives the way we works
Yeah,
best for us.
what good is listen to become what good is healing the body so that we can listen to it and then not listen to it, because
Right.
it's like, body, you're outside, you're coloring outside the lines here. It's kind of silly. It's like, that's what, and I'm speaking out loud, but I'm basically thinking out loud here, because I'm fighting some of this stuff, because I got to this point by doing carnivore, and then my body tells me to do this, like the vinegar stuff. And I was holding it back for a long time, for months I did. And I'm like, why am I doing this? I've literally spent a lot of work to get to where I could trust my own cues for my body and listen to them and heal up. And now I'm not listening to them because I've went and jumped into a new ideology. I was in the sad diet ideology, the beat yourself up ideology, the calorie restriction, deficit ideology. And now I'm like, I'm just not going to be in this. I'm tired of being in some sort of ideology mind cult like thinking, it's just like,
Yeah.
everything my body's been doing has been working. So let's just find out what that is. And just because it's that way for me doesn't mean it's that way for anybody else, much less everybody else, But we're not going to know until we're all just like open about it and just put it out there for real and be like, I don't know. That's just what my body told me today. Maybe it's crack heading out and it's just wanting to fix something. Or maybe this is going to work out. Let's see where it goes. It's fun to see that now. I know that every place I took it was a disaster before. So let's see what it does. It's kind of where I'm at with it now.
Things change, though, after you've been in recovery for a while, so to speak. And you find that you can do certain things you didn't think that you could in moderation. Like, I'll fully admit I put pickles in my chicken salad and my tuna sometimes.
Right.
And it hasn't made me go crazy and fall off the wagon.
No. And
you feel fine after eating it. Yeah. So
yeah, exactly.
I know. I had somebody say that, well, it's because it's restrictive and you're just wanting the taste of vinegar. I'm like, really, out of all the tastes that I could want, you think vinegar is the one that I'm choosing to go wild on is vinegar? Are you kidding me? If I wanted more taste, there's a lot of other things.
Oh, there's stuff that you can go to, right?
Yeah, in my top like 200 list of better tasting things than vinegar.
Right.
But that's what's hitting me is the vinegar, you know? I'm not craving pizza or tacos or any of that stuff. And literally all that I'm eating is water, ribeye, and Tabasco. I'm only eating 3 things right now. And so, I mean, if I was opening up the palate for these, you know, for like this endorphin of flavor, it ain't going to be vinegar. It's not going to be the thing I'm going to wild out on. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny. I'm like, no, this is definitely a cue from something that's going on. And then it's proof positive when I get more energy out of it. And I have yet to find a side effect to it. So I'm like, I don't think that's how that works.
Lindy, may I ask, do you still have the lap band or did you have that removed? You still have it?
Yes, I've had it just over 25 years. I'm scared to have it removed because there's probably scar tissue over it by now, and I'm just scared they're going to do more damage than anything trying to get it out. So I'm just going to stick with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think it's something like that too, Kimberly. Something like that. So over the time, who knows what happens? We can't even say what happened, but you know, when you listen to Ken Berry talk about how fruit now is basically just candy because it's the seeds been tainted and turned into what is that called? Botany, I think, when they crossbreed seeds and plants and things, botanist or whatever. Yeah, I think that who knows what's happened to the seed, you know what I mean? I have no idea, but I know that that's probably all it really is. And they probably just haven't been as successful as screwing up cow DNA as, you know, as they have, you know, seed DNA or something, you know, something like that's happening. But yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling good and I'm just going to keep doing it. And people are just going to have to forgive me if I, you know, the purists are going to have to forgive me if I get healthy while having a tiny bit of not carnivore food or whatever. Right. I don't really care, you know.
Got to change it up a little bit. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
I do.
I really think that one of the biggest powerful things in it is that it really, and Jordan Peterson said this, and that resonated with me too early on. Before I even started carnivores, the power is that it's an elimination diet and you get to go down to the very, very base and then proof positive for you in the position that you're in at the time, check things out one at a time and go, is this good for me or is this bad for me? Is this making me better? Is it making me sick? You know, is it even neutral? If it's neutral or it's bad, probably get rid of it. You should probably only do it if it makes your situation better. Because, you know, if it's neutral or negative, don't do it because, you know, you don't need that. So it's really, and that's kind of a good rule for life is to get rid of things that are holding you back or not allowing you to, you know, get better, you know, move forward. Just take them out. And it's basically the nutrition version of that ideology, which I think is pretty, you know, it's not exactly rocket science, but it's pretty effective, you know, if it makes it better. And then you just got to be real about what is better, you know, like, is it better to have a slight negative maybe on, you know, maybe you have 1% less energy or something, but you stay the course, or if you get rid of that thing, you fall to pieces completely all together and you go back to the sad diet. Well, I would say then you probably need to do whatever keeps you from doing the sad diet again, you know, those type of things. But I don't know, I think it's pretty powerful stuff that I've seen when people are just using it as elimination diet and then build back like a customized version of what makes them function the best once you're not an addict anymore and you kind of detox and you get all that crap out of your head and you're not freaking out and always wanting sugar. You can kind of build back a new customized diet that works for you, because you can trust your body again. It's been working for me anyways, and I know Lindy.
Yeah,
She's
our
going.
goal is not to spiral anymore, not to go down that rabbit hole that we used to fall into all the time. And I think we're pretty strong with that now. If we
Yep.
do have a slip up or we do try these little things, we can just jump straight back on the wagon and not let it derail our progress. So
That's so
Absolutely.
important, Lindy. You're so right. You can, you know, slip up or even choose to go off plan a little bit, and it's so much easier to get back. It gives
yes,
it gives you not willpower isn't really the right word, because I don't willpower to me implies that you're really struggling and fighting. It gives you the ability to just go right back. Because
yeah,
and the point of comparison, right? Because if you do that, but you're like, I don't feel so good, it's easy to get back on then.
yeah. Just love this feeling of being optimal and being healthy and happy, and yeah, just don't want those sad feelings anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
The edema in my legs, and that's why I'm off dairy now, because as soon as I have it, the edema comes back in my feet, and I'm like, I hate this feeling. I don't want to feel this again. So no dairy. It's like my decision's made. I'm very strong about that. I just don't want those ill feelings in my life.
Right. And doesn't that feel good though, to be able to navigate those things, and you were out of it, and then you tried it and you played with it, and all of a sudden this line gets very clear and defined. You're like, all right, officially in my mind, I've made up the decision. These things aren't worth anymore, so those are out officially. Like, it's funny how many things evolve now that way, when you're able to so clearly see the cause and effect and what's worth it. And for me, every day, more and more things become not worth it.
Oh yeah.
And they make the final cut list of never again.
Mm.
I'll pull that up just for that was interesting.
For all those interested in making their own fermented goods, check out the Fermented Homestead. Anna teaches how to achieve good results. I think she is mostly ketovore, her husband not. Cool. Anyone ever tried fermenting their own veggies?
I've
me.
pickled a few things back in the day, but that was as close. And I don't know if that's considered the same thing as fermenting, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think it
I've
is.
done that. Yeah.
It's not, because vinegar is used in pickling.
Yeah.
And ferments, from what I understand, it's just water and salt, and then like weighting the thing down like cabbage or whatever, so that actually, is it water? No, I think it might just be salt and weight, and it like extracts the water. I can't remember now. I'll have to look at the Fermented Homestead site. But I know
Yeah.
one has vinegar and it does not.
That makes sense. Yeah, I didn't think it was necessarily, because isn't fermenting kind of growing some kind of bacteria or something, enzymes or something?
But with sauerkraut and things like that, I don't think that you add. I think it's just salt and weight. Deb Olson just commented, and she does her own ferments. With like dairy, like kefir and stuff like that, you are using like a starter. I think you're using the kefir grains, so that might be a slightly different process.
Mm. Yeah.
Mm.
Pearl, I'm not married. So maybe if I had a wife, maybe I'd be able to sleep better. But no.
I don't sleep better with my husband, although he stopped snoring now that he's carnivore, but still he kicks a lot.
I'm not married anymore either, but my brother, when he got married, he's got a room and his wife's got a room, because they can't sleep. They can't actually sleep, in the same bed, because neither one of them gets any sleep. So I used to be like, God, what a princess. And then I got married. I'm like, yeah, sleeping with another human being's bullshit. Get out of here. Like, I'm trying to sleep. And also, I was a inflamed mess. So I was snoring. She's, part of the reason I like sleep with her is she's smacking me with a pillow. Snoring.
And you're breaking beds and
Yeah.
I
Well,
wouldn't
that
sleep
was,
with you either.
yeah, so many bad things. It was funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, now I feel it. Like, yeah, why, definitely separate beds is a good thing, I think, for sleep. Like, I'll never do that again. Like, if I ever get married again, yeah, separate beds for sure.
I've heard a lot of good things about SPG, but one of the things that stood out to me was, what is your why? And one woman's response was, so I can see for the first time what I really look like. Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta get at it, Mike. Just do it.
Ferments don't have vinegar. Okay, that makes sense.
Salt and water.
Yeah.
Fermented ginger into a ginger buglet can
Sorry.
make fermented sodas with those need sugar, but sugar gets eaten by the fermentation. Okay.
That's interesting.
Then they taste very much like very, very, very vinegary, though. Like if you really let it eat up all the sugar.
Makes its own, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is that stuff called? Kombucha or whatever?
Yeah, but the problem with that is that the sugar is so high,
Hmm.
usually, especially the commercial ones. And they can taste a little vinegary, but not like they are when all the sugar's really been eaten up. Amara talked about that in the last his last visit to SBG.
Oh,
I
really?
think. Yeah. He
Yeah.
makes some, but yeah, they taste like vinegar totally.
Oh, I think I'm still just going to keep things simple. I might try a bit of hot sauce here or there, or a bit of Tabasco, but yeah, I won't be fermenting anything, or that's too complicated for me. And I'm happy just keeping it very simple.
I figured when I do break my fast, I would have some sauerkraut juice. Right? Yeah.
I bet that would be a good idea for sure. Don't eat hamburger and eggs unless you want to turn your butt into
I kind of warned you about that.
sandblaster. Yeah, you did, and I didn't listen, and it was bad. So, yeah.
Have you thought about how you're going to break your fast, Michael? Do you have a plan?
Well, I figured bone broth.
Okay, that's good.
And stick with that, and then see how I feel, and then start with some eggs, and have a couple meals out of that, and then just see how it all goes and play it by ear.
Yeah, I would just.
Not gonna pull a Todd.
I would stick by the toilet for 2 days and pray. That's what I would do.
Shoot, it can be ugly even with an ADF.
Yeah. I didn't have I'm praying for you, Michael, because I was actually thinking about this going, man, that 134 hours was hard to come off of. I cannot imagine what 400 hours, it's going to be, in this situation. I did a 21-day fast once before, but I was so sick by everything else that the diarrhea, like everything was a wreck. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. I couldn't decipher. Yeah, what was what? It was all it was all just fallout and misery. So, but now I can kind of see the difference. It's crazy. I was going to ask too, everybody that I know Mike got one, but anybody that won the SBG giveaway and has tried it, I'd be curious to see what you guys think of the NSV meetings and calls and stuff. Let me hear what you guys think. See you, Gail. Definitely see you in the SBG meetings. yeah, I'd be super curious to see what you guys think. I know that, I'm looking for like if it was your first time, were you guys surprised by it, or was it what you thought it would be, or just kind of curious what your guys' opinion is on it. We both click at the same time every time.
I broke it last time, so
The Zooms are awesome.
Zooms are pretty cool. Let's see here.
You just hear about everybody changing their lives. It's so inspiring.
Well, yeah, and so many.
I think we got Dr. Chafee this week, have we? And is it Dr. Kiltz as well? Was there two?
I think so.
Had Baker last week. That was fun for all you guys that don't know. That was good. He was kind of in and out like a light.
Yep. And Wednesday and Friday, Kiltz and Chafee.
Chafee, yeah.
Plus all of us cool people are going to be there. So it's pretty much this cool kids club.
And we're there. Yep.
So,
We're going to need this, Carolina.
if you guys don't want to be in the cool kids club, I guess you could stay home, but. All right. This is where I'm supposed to be funny, right?
You still got a little bit, but
Do I have a little bit?
You got time for a couple stories, yeah.
All right. Well, Lindy reminded me because I was talking about my snowboarding story the other day, and she was like, "You can tell that one," and there's a little cussing in it, and that's why I don't tell it because it wasn't a lot of cussing. There's a little bit of cussing, but I have, a few of these things.
We're all adults.
You got the warning up.
Haven't had a chance to join one yet. Yeah. Check out some of the replays if you have time, Mike. The replays are pretty awesome too. You can kind of get a feel for them. They're pretty awesome. Let's see here. That's awesome. Yeah, NSV days are awesome. Those are the best. I'd rather, even better than the doctors. I agree, or the NSVs. The doctors can get to be a little bit dry, but sometimes they have some, some major, insight on things too that are super helpful.
Yeah, they go into a lot of detail, don't they? So
yeah,
and it's your chance to talk to them, So
comment to them.
Well, you can ask,
Yeah, if you get a chance to raise your hand, but it's getting kind of popular. I just say that because during Baker, did you see that person that kept raising their hand and getting slapped down? I was like, oh, they're gonna get mad because they raised their hand like, I don't know, 5 or 6 times and got their hand pulled down. I was like,
didn't notice.
They're not getting the message, are they?
I did not notice that. There were a ton of questions for Baker, and what did we get to? Like 4 or something?
Yeah, because he went in such detail with each one.
Yeah.
We needed to rapid fire with him.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely needed some of that, for sure. Because I think he only got through 7 or 8 questions that whole hour. But well, it was good information. But I don't know, SPG's getting so popular.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the year though too. When I joined, there were 300 people in a meeting.
Wow.
Last year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it was like early on, like the kickoff or something. 300 people.
Yeah.
So the numbers they'll fall a little bit as the year goes on.
Yeah.
I like the intimate meetings. I love Chisel for that reason.
Yeah.
I love the Chisel meeting. There, last week there were like 6 of us.
Yeah.
Well, 6 people plus
Russ.
Moderators and coaches.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that'll get some questions answered.
Oh yeah.
In a pretty big hurry,
And
for sure.
So we gonna hear the snowboarding story, or you
Yeah, I
saving it
looked up.
for?
So because my glasses suck, when I looked up before, I thought that it said that it was that we had been in here for 2 hours and 42 minutes because
Oh,
my eyes suck. And then I just was like, squeaky,
Yeah.
squeaky. And I'm like, oh, it's only been 2 hours and 16 minutes. So that's why I started saying that. I was like, oh, I thought the time flew by because I was like, oh no, I'm supposed to be telling a story right now. But I realized that was my stupid eyeballs not working because my glasses aren't here yet. So another mistake. But yeah, I can go back into it. So Lindy, we were talking, and she reminded me that my snowboarding thing I hit on the other day. I don't even remember why I was talking about it. Why was I talking about it the other day?
as you talk.
you just
There was something that was pertinent about that.
We
I
were
don't
talking
remember.
about something. We talk about so much stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But at any rate, yeah, it was funny. So I was like, oh, I think I'm trying to think how much I weighed back then. This was one of my leaner times in my life. So I was probably a brisk 550 roughly back then. And decided I was going to snowboard. I was going to learn how to snowboard. Everybody snowboard. I'm in Montana where we have world-class ski hills all around us, 3 of them all around us. I'm like, all right, I got to learn how to snowboard. So, typical me fashion, I went and got a Burton snowboard and best bindings and all this stuff and styled it up and got a Burton Fat Boy, which if anybody knows snowboarding, you know that that's funny because if you're a big guy, you got to get a Fat Boy board. And so I got a Burton Fat Boy. Well, what they didn't tell me, because I had tried snowboarding a little bit once before with a rented board. And the thing about a rented board is that a rented board doesn't have a sharp edge. And if you don't have a sharp edge, you're a lot less likely to catch an edge and bash your face into the ground every time. So, well, now I got the top of the line, like, Burton board, the professional, board and the bindings and all the stuff. And not only that, I had a fat, Burton Fat Boy, which was a longer board, so more edge to catch, more surface area. It was terrible. Anyway, so I get the whole setup. And I'm talking to these guys, and they're like, yeah, with these bindings and these boots, you can't twist an ankle. It's impossible to twist an ankle in these boots. I'm like, all right, that sounds like it's going to be good for me. And so I go up and I get Carhartt bib overalls because they don't make snow pants in my size. So I had to wear big sweats and put Carhartt bib overalls on this. So I'm about as redneck as you could possibly look. I'm snowboarding in Carhartts. And I got to start off on the bunny hill because I'm not looking to die that day. So I get on the lift for the bunny hill. And I get to the top and I'm like, this thing's moving a lot faster than it looks like it's moving on the ground when you're on one of those ski lifts. So this is the first 2 seconds that I put my feet on the ground. When you go up in the lift, you have 1 foot in your binding and you have 1 foot out of your binding, then you're supposed to put your board forward, put your shoulder forward, step your back foot onto the board and gracefully slide away. Well, what I did was I ate shit right on the lift, and then the lift behind me smacked me in the back of the head, and then I had to belly crawl with this big freaking board hooked to my foot off to the side where, it was just an absolute nightmare and a wreck. And then I had to lean up on a snow hill and find out how hard it was after being beat to death and making such commotion and everybody looking at you like, oh my God, are you okay, sir? I got to strap my foot into this thing and I finally get it strapped in. Now I'm trying to get up. I can't get up. I'm doing this whole thing. And so I was on my back when I put the boot on, and then I had to, you have to flop over on your belly. And it's like a beach whale because you got this board and you can't get your feet to flop over because it's hitting the ground. And I flop over hillside up so that you can do that thing where you climb the hill so you can stand up on your board. Well, as soon as I started climbing up, you start to slide and then you just go over backwards. And so you're back on your back again, sliding down the hill. It was as ugly as it sounds for sure. But anyhow, I would basically follow my way all the way down to the bottom of the hill and just tumble and fall and fall and tumble all the way down to the bottom of the hill. And then I get back in line and get on the lift again and go back up because I'm no quitter and I spent a lot of money on this board. So I go back up and I repeat the same process. Fall off the lift. Lift smacks me around a couple of times. The guy gets mad that's running the lift and he slows it down so that I stop getting beat up by the lift. And then I get out of the way and then they can run it again. So on the 5th try, I'm coming up there and I'm like, oh, here we go. And I'm just basically at this point, I'm just closing my eyes and flopping out of the lift like a fish and just resolved with the fact that I'm eating shit and try to get out of the way as fast as possible so I can figure out how to get on my feet and get down the hill. Well, yeah, this time the lift slows down a little bit and this dude comes out of the lift shack and he grabs me by the shoulders. He goes, for the love of God, just stand up. So he goes and he pulls on me and I stand up and I slid off for about 11 feet before I ate shit, but at least I cleared the lift. And I was like, I'm getting this. So I follow all the way down the hill. I get back up. This is like my 7th time doing this that day now, and everything hurts. But actually, everything hurt on round 5. Now everything's just numb. I'm cold and wet, and I wasn't wearing snow pants. I was wearing Carhartts, and that's not waterproof. So everything's cold and frozen and wet, and I'm pretty much blue and numb, which is making things better because I don't know how much anything hurts. But this dude comes up and he's like, dude, I'm a snowboard instructor, and like, dude, you're like, you have no give up in you. So I commend you. He goes, I'm gonna give you a free lesson today because I can't watch you fall down this bunny hill one more time. So he goes up with me. We get off the thing. He keeps me standing up. I actually make the first successful like landing off this lift that I'd made. We get up to the top, and this dude, you know, I always tend to look because I've been heavy my whole life. I was 600 pounds when I was 14. I was always a stout kid. And so I've got a pretty big frame under me. So I don't quite look as heavy as I actually am most of the time. And I say that because this dude with the long hair, he only weighs like 165 pounds. And this is my instructor. And one dude was the funniest thing I've seen yet today snowboarding. Was this dude starts going down with me and he doesn't, going down the hill and he's teaching me how to like point with your shoulder and, all this stuff. But inertia is the thing, right? And I start picking up a lot of speed because this is I haven't stayed up more than, 13 consecutive linear feet in a row. And now we're picking up a great amount of speed. And he's like, all right, you got to roll back. You got to look over your back edge. You got to slow this down. You got to plow. And he's telling me all this stuff. And I'm not like, dude, I don't know. And now we're both catching speed. And this is a problem because you shouldn't catch this much speed on a bunny hill. It's because there's a snow fence at the bottom of the bunny hill. Well, they don't think anybody's going to be able to pick up this amount of speed that the snow fence is going to be a problem. Well, when you're doing Mach 40 because you happen to weigh 550 pounds, the snow fence is not far enough away. So we're going straight toward the snow fence. We're about to plow through this thing, and I have no ability to stop. So this little snow instructor dude flips around in front of me, and he turns us both sideways, and he's got his hands on my shoulders like this, and he's got his board straight out. Well, if you've ever seen a snowplow going down the highway with the rooster tails coming off the blade, that's what this dude's snowboard looked like. I'm plowing snow all the way down this little hill because we got to going so fast. And it's just a rooster tail of snow coming off of both sides of this dude's board. And his little red face is sitting there just trying for all he's worth. And he's just screaming. And he's like, for the love of God, dig in your back edge. Dig it in. And because we're coming up to the snow fence at a rapid speed. And anyhow, I'm sitting there and finally I'm laying back and I'm like, I'm just going to have to fall on my ass and try to slow myself down so I don't go through the snow fence. So I just lean back and lock my legs. And luckily between him and me doing that, we just pushed up against the snow fence and stopped. We just didn't bust through it and make an awesome video. That would have been great. But it was hilarious. And then that happened. And I go back up a couple more times with this dude, and then I'm getting pretty good. And I'm actually able to make it all the way down the hill and stop and do switchbacks and everything. So now I'm doing pretty good, and I'm feeling like I got this. I go back up to the top. That's when the kid had saw all this, and I'm sitting there and I'm just getting started. And this little tiny kid that's about 2 feet, his skis were longer than he was tall. He was the tiniest little dude. on that ski hill. And that was when he looked up and he said, "Don't fall on me, mister." I just started laughing so hard because he saw me eat shit all day. And now I'm sitting next to him and he's scared for his life. And as he should have been. But anyhow, I'm feeling pretty good now. And I feel like I got a little bit of, I got to save some face because I've just eaten shit down this mountain 9 times and now I can turn. So I'm a pro now. So I just let it out. I point it straight down and I'm cutting back and forth. And I really feel like I got this thing. And then about halfway down the mountain, I caught an edge doing Mach 45. And this is where nobody believes me to this day. But here's the thing. I was wearing Carhartt pants, Carhartt bib overalls. And I had a Justin wallet in the back right pocket of my Carhartt bib overalls with the Carhartt stamp on it. And this is only pertinent because when I was crashing, I crashed so hard and I mangled up into a pretzel and one of my feet came out of the binders. I dislocated my left ankle on this thing. But at some point during the crash, I saw my own wallet in my pocket. I was looking at my ass at some point crashing down this hill. I was looking at my ass. And when I hit the bottom, the first thing that they said, because everybody came rushing up and they're like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I said, "I saw my own ass." That was the first thing I said was, "I saw my own ass." Because I just remember thinking when I was just cartwheeling down this hill, I'm like, how did I see my own wallet? I must be dead. I'm dead. If I saw my own wallet, everything's broken. I'm just mush. I saw my own ass. There's no way I'm coming back from this. I thought I was dead for sure. 100% I was dead. And I come down to the bottom and when they came up to me, the first thing they said was, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I saw my own ass." And they're like, "Oh no." And they hauled me out of there in one of the stretchers and I dislocated my ankle and it all healed up and it's fine. But that might be what happened to my brain if I ever get a little wonky up here. It could have been from seeing my own ass.
He's still in shock.
Still in shock. But yeah, so apparently you can dislocate an ankle in a snowboard boot and you can see your own ass.
See your own ass. That's right. And not using a mirror.
True story. So that's why I haven't been back snowboarding again.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I think we got talking about that because I was trying to put compression stockings on and it was like a workout for me. I think that's how that story came about because you had to contort your body to try and pull these stupid things
That's
up.
right. That's why I've never told it on here because I didn't want to say ass so much, but that was the true story. When they came up, I said, "I saw my own ass. I saw my own ass." Because I was trying to say, I think I'm dead because there's no way if this body saw my own ass, I don't know what position I was in, but I definitely remember seeing the Carhartt logo on my ass pocket with my wallet and the concho on my Justin wallet. I'm like, "Oh no, I saw my own ass. I'm going to die. There's no everything's broken."
Oh no, I saw my own ass.
It was a true story. I thought for sure there's no coming back from this.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
You are a nut.
Oh, it's a true story. I still laugh about that today, but you can come back from seeing your own ass as it would turn out. And I thought I was dead. I thought I was death wish.
Did you ever go snowboarding again?
Having your ass handed to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. No, that was it. That was it. I don't even know where that board went, but I never went out again. My ankle hurt so bad after that. It was screwed up for years. Oh, I was like, not for me. I'm
You're lucky
glad.
that's all you dislocated.
Oh, dude, it was so crazy because people don't. I was, these light kids are pointing their stuff straight downhill. They're not moving. I point mine down, and it's like, you guys remember that part in Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation when he lubed up the sled? You guys remember that where he left a blaze of fire behind him because he took off? That's what I'm like on the bunny hill.
Yeah.
Exactly. What's this say? Exactly. How old would I say when I did this? Look, when like this stuff writes itself. I just had to live it. I did. I totally saw my own backside. I saw my pocket, my wallet, and the Carhartt logo on my pocket. It should be an Olympic sport. If you didn't see your own ass, you didn't stick the landing. uh, uh,
The compression
Yeah.
socks are hard to put on.
compression
Yeah.
socks. Now that should be an Olympic sport, putting on compression socks. And maybe that's what Mike meant for sure.
Mm.
Were you all in the NSV meeting when she was talking about the shapewear stuff that her friend was like, I'll help you put it on.
Mhm.
Torture. That's a full body compression sock.
That's terrible.
I had one.
I'm trying to think. So I would have been. So when I was in Denver, I was 19 when I was in Denver. I was 20 when I came back from Denver. So I would have been 21 or 22 when I did this. 21 or 22. Yeah. And I still get, thank God for carnivore, but that was where I always got gout, was in that ankle from that stupid injury. Normally everybody gets it in their toe. I would get it right where that, right in that sprain every time. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, misery. You know what we do for that stuff. I've got
I
got
got the
7.
waist high one, so and they were just a real bugger to try. It took me about 15-20 minutes to try and pull them on, and I had to contort my body and do everything to try and get them on. They were awful, but once they're on, they're comfortable. But then I don't want to go to the toilet all day because then I have to worry about try and putting them back on again. Yeah, it's much easier to lie on the bed and put them on, but through the day you don't want to do that.
When I had mine, they would kill me at my ankles.
That's what happened to me too. That not at first, but when I'd wake up and I'd be like, "Oh God, that's got to stop right now," because it's just like your whole ankle is like a giant sore bruise.
Yep.
Oof.
Mine go all the way down to my feet, so it's a whole leg.
Oh, mine does too, but the
There's
problem
still
is
a part at the ankle that grabs.
Yeah, there's a part at the ankle that tightens up. So I bought the biggest ones I could find, which were 7Xers, and I have finger holes in the top of those from pulling on them so hard to get them on my legs that my fingers rip through because they're so miserable. And I'd wake up at night and I'd have to grab them and pull at the ankles because whatever that tight collar is right above the ankle, dude, that thing would make your feet hurt so bad. You can feel your pulse in your ankles all of a sudden just killing you.
You should definitely wear them when you fly over, though, Lindy.
Yeah, I think I probably need to. Yeah.
Actually, that's a long flight.
Yeah, I've started doing it even on shorter flights, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to consider that. Especially, I think 21-hour flight. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, and especially because it's hot in Texas, and that'll make you kind of swell up anyway. Yeah, so I highly recommend.
Yeah, well, by then definitely hopefully be a bit smaller as well. I'll be able to buy something that fits properly. The hope.
We did not have similar stories, Brenda. No, that's all I did. I had one clean run down that hill and I was like, I'm a pro. I'm going to tear this bunny hill up. I broke everything.
I've only been skiing once, and that was when I was in high school. I think it was our Year 9 camp or something, and it was only a 3-day camp, and we did the cross-country skiing, Nordic skiing. So that was more like a marathon because you're just trying to walk along flat land and try not to fall into the snow because you'd sink. It was just like sludge, the ice. Yeah.
We have at Big Sky Resort at Lone Mountain, we have a ski run. One run that is 7.5 miles long. You take this mountain up because we rise, I think it's about 55 or 6,500 feet in elevation that you gain on that hill. And you can ride that thing down for like 7.5 miles. I think it is. I'll have to look it up. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it's like 7.5 miles. That Big Sky. It was our longest run. Somebody was telling me. I wouldn't know because I didn't go down.
Can you imagine how much speed you'd pick up?
Oh, dude, it's just having that weight. That's why, like, well, Keith was laughing the other day about his bike story. No joke. When you weigh a lot, man, you pick up speed quick, like way quick. I kept pointing my board down, and I did have a freshly waxed, brand new, sharp edge Burton Fat Boy. Like, it's like the creme de la creme of boards back then. So it was, all ready to go. Fast board, anyhow. Or, well, not a fast board. It was a Fat Boy. So it's not typically a fast board. But for me, it was heck of a fast board. And all that, put all that inertia behind it. And all that I noticed was like, every time I pointed down, and when I was finally standing up, I'm like, why am I passing everybody? Like they're standing still. They couldn't go fast enough, I'm like, I need this grade to be about half as much as it is.
As you pass the little kids, they all say, oh, man, that guy's a pro.
Why is he riding on the back 1 inch of his board screaming like a lunatic? Yeah, exactly, Keith. You know what I'm talking about. That nurse is a bugger.
Look at that. Mike knows. 90 degrees.
What's that?
99 is record. 32.
Yeah, that's warm. Is it humid or a dry heat in Texas?
It couldn't be too humid because it's in the middle of the state, right? I mean, that's still pretty far from water.
It's still a bit humid, though.
Is it?
Humidity is what do it, especially if you get a high dew point.
Yeah, dry heats are much better, I think.
Mike said humid, so.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, in that case, I hate humidity. I would rather have dry heat all day long. Humidity is my enemy.
I went out to Vegas and I sat out in 115-degree weather and heat after one of our dinners, and I didn't sweat once, and it was unreal.
Look at this, Scott. It's tornado season for.
Yeah, I think we all need to go on a storm chase or something over there just so we can film it for my hubby. Yeah,
tornadoes terrify me, and I was born and raised in Florida. Hurricanes, no problem. What scares me about a hurricane? The tornadoes.
Right.
Because they're unpredictable.
Yeah, you don't know which way they're going. Yeah.
Right. Terrifying. I don't want to storm chase anything.
I seen it coming down one time, and luckily it landed like 15 miles away.
Wow.
So yeah.
I need to get on TV, the film Twister. I love Twister and all those.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite picture ever in video. But this is a tornado.
Up in I see.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess we're gonna have to do this. Sorry for the inception here for a second. But look at that. That is a tornado in Montana in the winter on the top of a snowy mountain.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. Yeah.
Oh, how did I? Whoops, that's why. Yeah. But look at that thing. Yeah, you're not supposed to have tornadoes at this elevation.
No.
Or in the winter. We had a tornado on top of a snow-capped mountain at probably, 7,000 feet or something. I don't know where that was exactly, but 6,000 or 7,000 feet, just a couple miles, or I don't know. I think that was, I have to look it up. Where is this thing at? I don't know. I have to research where that is, but that thing, tornado touching down mountaintop in Montana, right?
May 9th. Well, is this past year?
Yeah, in the Mission Mountains. Yeah, I know. It's nuts. That was the craziest thing I ever seen. I could not believe that happened. I was like, wow, that was
Yeah.
amazing. But what a photo.
That's great.
That was cool. Right by Mike said it's right by his dad's house. Where was that at, Mike? Let's see. I'm looking to see if Mike said where it was at.
Mission Mountains.
Oh, the Mission Mountains. I got you. Where are the Mission Mountains? What town's that close to? I don't know. I'm not familiar. Your dad should have had awesome pictures of it then. That's crazy. Oh, St. Regis. That's right. I forgot. Let's see here. Yep.
I definitely love to see their vans or their cars. I think they've got special names and that. That'd be cool.
Terminator.
And
Like one of
be-
them.
Yeah, be lucky
What's
and
that?
see them.
The Storm Chaser ones?
Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be cool to see.
Well, Linda, you must not be afraid because everything and anything in Australia will kill you.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Oh, and I've got one of my birds is like a dinosaur. I'm not fearful of anything after him.
They are dinosaurs. They're descended
Yeah.
from, right?
Yeah, one of my little ones, he's a scatterbrain. My husband and daughter are scared of him. He's always chasing them, biting their feet. But he snuggles up with me, which is okay. But there wasn't to bite me all the time. Yeah, so yeah, we're pretty tough down here. Like we did have an earthquake once, quite bad, and all the windows were shaking. I had pictures fall off the wall, and the birds were out, and they were flying all around the house. And I'm trying to catch them while my knees were shaking. I didn't think I could stand up straight. It really frightened me. I think my biggest fear is a sinkhole. I thought I was going to be swallowed into the earth. That was my big fear, not the house falling on top of me, but falling into a sinkhole. So, as long as
Terrifying.
Texas, I'll be fine.
No natural disasters, please.
That's why you have the down low. You and Lindy's husband would get along. He's got a what is he called, like a weather tracker channel, pretty big one.
Facebook, Victorian Storm Chasers. I think he's got over 200,000 subs or something on that. And they just post weather stuff all over the world. Yeah. Victorian Storm Chasers. Give him a shout out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he manages that group. Just started off as a little hobby thing and it's taken off.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Keith was testing out his well, see, but that was before you lost all the weight, Keith. So you were at Anchor back then.
Now you'll get blown away.
Yeah, now you'd be flying, Keith. Yeah, Scott's all into the weather.
Oh, he'd love to talk to you, Mike, if you want to have a chat with about weather. He's your man. He loves it.
I'm telling you, Keith, think about it. It's like I keep threatening to do when I get all this weight off before I remove the skin. I want to go to one of those wind tunnels because I think we can fly like a kite, man. I think we're gonna lift off like a sugar
Visual on that.
Flying squirrel. Yeah.
It is. I just want to get in there. They're gonna be like, "You need this wingsuit," and I'm like, "I brought my own."
Michael and I'll be with our cameras filming you.
Exactly. Oof.
I'll be making some parts of that.
It's gonna go viral. I'm gonna be the human sugar glider. It's gonna be so fun. Oh
Crazy.
my gosh. But that's what you'd be like. There, Keith, now in that hurricane.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm so looking forward to KetoCon, and there'll be air conditioning in there, so we'll be fine during the time, I'm sure. But
Yeah.
that, yeah,
If
we'll
not,
make
we're
sure.
gonna find a place that serves steak with air conditioning. No, I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Now-
you guys can come visit me there when you're done with KetoCon.
It's a convention center, you know, they're always cold.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it'll just be from where you're staying to the car, from the car inside, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's how it works in Vegas too. Like I just have to not get swamp crack from here to the building. I'm golden. That's what I
Last year
hated.
it was at the end of April and it wasn't that bad. We had a chilly day actually, and so I just walked every day from the hotel to the Palmer Center, but I'm not even considering that in May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of May, almost June, I'm sure it's going to be quite hot.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, there we
It'll
go.
be fine.
Don't threaten me with a good time, Deb. Yeah, although I shouldn't say that. I'm used, my old me is talking a big game. Since I lost 260 pounds, I can be kind of a sensitive person to the cold. Like I was the guy that I would never even wear a coat. I go outside in a t-shirt when it was still like, 20 degrees outside. I was fine. And just a t-shirt. And I'm here to tell you I'm not that way anymore. Like when it gets 40 degrees, I'm like, are you kidding me? It's freezing out here. I turned into a lightweight wimp. Turns out that extra 260 pounds was insulation.
Good insulation. Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, you
Oh, is
can
there?
buy you can buy virtual access. If you go to the website now, I think that they are advertising it.
See if I can get a link for that.
Keith, if you get it, if you get access, you're gonna have to tell me. Because we're gonna have to shot you. We're gonna have to have a signal. I'm gonna have to slip a nipple out or something for you. It's gonna
We'll
be
have to find the live cameras. Yeah.
I know that this wasn't what he was talking about, but I'm gonna pretend like you're thanking me for that.
I'll post a link for KetoCon.
There we go.
Are you staying just for the KetoCon days, or will you be staying in Texas a bit longer, Carolina?
No, I won't. I'm gonna fly in Thursday afternoon and fly out Sunday evening.
Right.
Yeah, no, because it starts to add up with hotel and everything else. So I just went ahead and got my ticket. So I'm all set now. My airline, rather.
Yeah, we'll be up there for the 10 days. So, if we're flying 21 hours, we're going to make the most of it, stay a little bit longer. And I'll have my daughter. So she's already got her itinerary planned and she'll be touring on her own. So, and I'll just meet as many people as I can and just see a little bit of Texas. Just to say I've been to the US, so it'll be good.
Yeah, it will. That'll be really nice. And you need time to acclimate. Otherwise, you'll be, it'll be tough. If you were coming in right
summer as well, so I'll be used to the heat anyway because it gets pretty so 30, 32 is pretty common here in summer.
But to get over the jet lag and everything though, right? So you'll be here prior to the conference for a while, right?
I think I arrive 8 p.m. the night before.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Wow.
it's gonna be big. We'll see. I'll manage.
Hopefully you'll sleep on the plane. That'll help.
Yeah, I plan to fast on the plane. Last time I went on a plane many, many years ago, I actually got food poisoning. So
yeah,
yeah,
fasting is a good idea.
So I'm going to fast. And I think that's going to help as well, just by fasting.
It will.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I think I must come in a day before you then. I'm coming in on the 29th. You must be coming in on the 30th.
I'm flying in on the 30th. Yeah.
I gotta go find my car, and every time I get a rental at the airport or whatever, I get a SUV, but they're not real SUVs, you know, like I want like a Suburban or a Denali or a Escalade or something so that it's big. Because I hate that they'll give you something with a bunch of seats, but it's like a glorified small minivan or something. I hate those. So usually you got to get away from the airport to find a good rental on a Suburban or something. So I'm gonna go find one of those. I'm gonna, try to have it lined out ahead of time, but I need a day to like go get it and pick it up and make sure it's right and all those things when I get checked in and get the Airbnb figured out and all that stuff. And then I want to do that the first day, and then I just want to like get my bearings of driving around a little bit and find the place and know where I'm going to park and know where I'm going to be and read the itinerary and make a plan and find a good place to get a steak. So,
Yeah.
There's a Brazilian steakhouse not far from Palmer Center, Fogo de Chao. We were talking about doing like an SBG meetup there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were talking about Sunday though. I don't know how that's gonna go because my flight out is at 7:30 and it's the last one. So that means I got to get to the airport at like 5:30, and I think the convention ends at like 4. So it might be a little bit tight, but because I think there's something going on, Friday night and Saturday night, and so anyway, we'll see.
mm-hmm.
But have you decided on an Airbnb for sure then, Todd?
I am, but it's expensive. And so because my work is not 100% guaranteed, it's still possible that something big could come up and then I couldn't go. And so being that there's no refund, I'm not going to book it until I'm about eight weeks out. That way I can be more certain that, more certain that I'm not going to get stuck with a big expense. Cause we found a place that we really like, but it's a lot for 10 days. So it's putting up a real big deposit. And I didn't want to risk it this far out, not going. So, but yeah, if as long as it's still available, which I think it will be, I don't see this thing, I doubt that they're going to rent it that far out. I could be wrong, but as long as it's still available, then we have one picked out and I'm planning on doing it. It's a 45-minute drive away because it's out in the country, but it's really nice. So it's got a real nice outdoor place where we could all, if we wanted to just go grill steaks and stuff, it's got a nice grill. It's got a bunch of chairs out there. I mean, it's probably got 12 or 15 chairs out there. Just a real nice outdoor place. That's what attracted me to it is I want to be able, I don't like crowds. I don't like cities. I don't like concrete jungles, so I just want to get out of there when it's over and just have a place to relax because we're going to be there for 10 days and you can be on edge for a few days, but being on edge for 10 days in the city sucks. I've done that before and I don't want to do that. So
Austin is a strange city though. It doesn't, I don't know. I'd be interested to see what you think about it. Yeah, it's weird. The airport is like shockingly close. Yeah. I don't think there's like a mall anywhere to be found. And I only know because my mom went one time in January and they ended up getting snow, which was really crazy. And so you're not going to be outside. So they wanted to like go to a mall and there's like no malls. So it doesn't feel like a city, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
That'd be awesome. I don't know. I think because of where I come from, I think a lot of things are going to feel like a city to me because I come from a real small town, I mean, not anymore. My town feels like a city to me because it blew up because that stupid Yellowstone movie. But, so that's making it feel like a city to me. And the ones I'm comparing it to are like Denver, New Jersey, New York. Those are the places, and Chicago. Baltimore. Those are places that I've been, and I'm like, yuck.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, that's good. I don't want to be in, those places are like, I can't wait to get out of me. It's just like, get this off of me. I gotta get out of here. Why are you guys asses elbows out here? And how do you deal with this? Like, I can't do it. I think Lindy might be making an appearance, huh?
No, not that I'm aware of. I hope not.
I thought Bella said she was gonna have you stand up during her.
Oh, no, she said if I want to, I could, but it's
Oh.
totally up to me, and I said I'll see what I feel like on the day, because I'm not gonna put pressure on
Okay.
myself, feel embarrassed or anything, so
Absolutely.
I don't know. I have no idea how I'm gonna feel then, but, yeah, we'll see. I think she said you get to sit in the audience, and you're gonna be sitting with me, you guys, and we can all stand up, but I feel comfortable with that, but I don't feel comfortable getting up on a stage or doing all that. I can show my photos and I can wave, but yeah.
They talked
is
about you last year at KetoCon, but they
Yeah.
didn't use your name and they didn't use your photos.
Yeah, I think they showed my photos.
Did they?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they did. I saw a video presentation on it. Yeah. They asked if they could, and I said, "Yes, just please don't use my name," because I wasn't ready to share back then.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, this has been hard enough, but standing in front of real people is a bit different than sitting behind the computer in my little study. I feel safe here.
For sure.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Pearl. Yeah, keep Austin weird. That's the other thing I heard about Austin a little bit too. No, now they have Amazon fulfillment centers.
That's exactly. Yeah. I'm all out of business.
Yeah.
Todd, you mentioned this earlier that you just got some weights.
Yeah, for sure. I just ordered a Rogue weight bench, and I ordered a set of 5 pound, 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 and 25 pound dumbbells. And before you go, why? Well, because if I get 50-pound ones, I'm going to try to lift them, and then I'm going to be hurt for a month. So I promised myself how I'm going to limit my stupidity by not arming myself. So I'm just leaving it at 25 pounds, and I'm going to what I want to do. With I don't know, this maybe he's not a good example to follow, but I haven't done a lot of research on it. But I used to like Rich Piana back in the day before he died of too many steroids. But I think if anybody, he at least knows how to put on muscle. And he was kind of a proponent of lighter weight, and he was like, I always wanted to try this, but he talks about doing 300 skull crushers with a 15-pound dumbbells, and then like 180 hammer curls. So you do like 100 skull crushers, then you get up and you go straight into like 60 hammer curls, and then 100 skull crushers and 60 hammer curls. You do that 3 times. And he's like, that's all the weight you need, and you can do it with dumbbells. So that's what I'm opting for, because I don't need to take my atrophied self and go trying to herk and jerk a bunch of big weight. I'm not going to do that for a while. So I am definitely going to be lifting, though. That's on my new regimen. I was waiting till I got to this point to where I felt this good, because I was just too sick to do it before, to be honest with you. I just was too sick and too much atrophy. I couldn't get around to it. But I'm finally feeling good enough, and that far exceeded my expectations. I didn't think I'd be to this point for 3 years. I thought I was so far gone, and it only took a year. So, but definitely going to be lifting weights for sure.
Yeah, the better you feel, the more active you want to become. So, as you said, we're not sick anymore, and it's now just a matter of strengthening ourselves, but taking it slow, because I've hurt myself a few times pushing it a bit too far. Because mentally you want to get out there and do things, but physically your body's not quite ready yet. So, just
I mean,
I
I want to do some big things with some big weights, but way in the future, because I think I have the frame for it, to be honest with you. When I was young, I moved big weight, and I didn't even know it was a thing, because it was just what I was doing. And now I'm kind of like, oh, well, I've kind of put a heck of a frame together.
I haven't seen them.
No.
Oh, I haven't seen them. I definitely will try it. I'll definitely take a look at it. We're both on stuff.
Wasn't me. I didn't touch anything.
Carolina, what are you doing?
No, I touched nothing.
It was Luna. Luna did it.
You are welcome, Keith. Man, this was fun. We made it 3 hours again after just doing a 3 hours not so members only
Last night.
yesterday.
And then half hour on Lindy's.
Half hour on Lindy's.
Oh.
You guys should be sick to death of us.
Your cartoons.
I love
Cartoons?
Scooby. Scooby Doo's my favorite. I think it's cool.
Family
Archer
Guy.
is one of my favorites.
I haven't watched cartoons since I was-
Family Guy. It's got to be Family Guy.
Family Guy is good. Archer is hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, Family Guy. There's just too many funny things in there. Nobody's safe in Family Guy. No topic is that's why I love Family Guy.
I haven't watched any.
South Park is good too.
South Park is real good too. South Park's my number 2 for sure. But
Yeah, I've
Family
never watched-
Guy. Yeah. Yeah, the Panderverse, South Park, the Panderverse, that's amazing. Like if you haven't seen it, that's just genius. I love it. But
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
it's awesome. I love it. Roadrunner, yeah.
Here's Mike's. Yeah.
Yeah, the Roadrunner was good. Oh, nice. I'll go check him out. Carnivore Muscle.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll go check him out. And then I don't know. I feel a little inferior starting here.
I wonder.
Like,
I wonder if there's a carnivore snowboarder.
There is now.
let's yeah. There was a carnivore
Todd's
snowboarder.
second channel, carnivore snowboarder.
Yeah. I'm gonna go do it again because now, I mean, once I put myself back together, I'm gonna try it again. Snowboarding looks amazing. It was fun. I enjoyed the
It looks fun. I never tried it.
yeah. I was gonna say I enjoyed the 13 successful minutes that I stayed up that day. So, it was a great time.
You just
know?
like seeing your ass. That's all it was.
Well, I think it's the only time that's ever happened organically. Let's put it that way. Tell me, Michael, seriously, if you were falling down a hill on your snowboard and you saw your own butt, would you not think you were just died?
Yes.
Yeah.
I fell down one time in a snowy parking lot trying to cross where you go between the parking lot and the store. And my leg went over my shoulder.
right.
Okay. Yeah. And then I had to have guys come and try to help me up. And as they're trying to pull me up, they're falling down with me.
Right. Hilarious.
So yeah, it's
Mike,
not fun.
this wouldn't be as a big a deal for you, but have you ever crashed and saw your own ass? That's really all I want to know. Because am I the only one? You know,
So.
obviously at 550, that was a bigger deal, but I have a visual image of my Carhartt butt pocket with my wallet in it seared into my brain, because as I was falling, I was like, oh no, I hope I stops. And then I was like, that's my ass. I just died. I just died right now because I just saw my ass. There's no way I can still be in one piece and see my ass.
Okay, you're thinking you broke your back or something to have
Yeah,
it turn around like
seriously.
that. Yeah.
Broke my back, or my head fell off my shoulders and is now rolling behind my butt. And I'm looking at it, whatever, something terrible just happened. I was certain of it.
Amy
See?
and I will definitely be talking about weight training.
Nice.
oh, cool.
You know,
Nice.
she loves,
Yeah, especially
loves,
with Amy.
loves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amy
Good
is.
turning in. Case in point, had some epic crashes, never saw his own ass. I'm telling you, I experienced a miracle then.
I thought you were going to say that the Carhartt logo was tattooed onto your ass, like permanently, after falling so many times.
That would
Probably
be
is.
hilarious.
He hasn't seen his ass lately.
I haven't. That was the only
That's
time I ever
that
seen it.
day.
It could still be there. Who knows? But what I know is I only saw it that one time. I was like, wow. I literally, it even stopped the panic kind of, because when I saw it, I was like, that was my ass. I just saw my own ass. I must be dead. There's no way. Like when I get dead, when I stop falling, like I'm just going to be dead. Like that's what's going to happen. I just died because I just saw him. Like I was literally trying to think physically what kind of condition I would have had to, I still don't know how it happened. Either my back twisted around and my head went over I have no idea, but I saw my own ass.
Could be a new yoga position.
the downward pretzel dog.
Yay.
That's awesome. When are you guys going to start? I know you kind of covered this, but I was reading comments. When are you guys planning on starting?
We're gonna film the first one this coming week.
Nice.
And like our origin stories, just to kind of cover who we are, where we've been, how we got there, all that good stuff. Yeah. And then we've already started making a list of people that we want to interview. And you guys are absolutely on it. So hopefully you will come and make an appearance. And I don't think we're going to be doing any lives, at least not initially. But, everything evolves, and we might be coming to you, Michael, for some help producing.
You got my number.
You guys are the experts. I mean, I don't know.
Apparently, you see how yesterday and today went.
Yeah, that wasn't on me. That was.
It's my fault. I've lost my conclusion.
It was a team effort. Let's just call it a team.
It's that top row.
Well, there we go. Mr. Perfect. Mr. Never scheduled a live stream on the wrong day. We'll screwing up a members only. Whatever.
It
is a cool name. I concur.
It's because I think Amy is a total badass and I want to be just like her. So
Amy is. Amy's a beast. Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's something to aspire to,
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. How long has Amy been carnivore?
I'm not sure. Because, she started and then she healed her kidney disease and then she gained back a whole bunch of the weight and then she started again. So I'm not sure. That's a good question that I need to ask her on for the interview.
And it is Amy from SVG.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or shizzle. Well, right on. Well, I think we made it.
Thanks for having me. It was super fun.
Thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Thank you.
Welcome to our awesome viewers. These guys are the best ever.
Our community is awesome.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, that's amazing. What about Coach Rochelle?
Yeah, she is amazing as well.
She's busy with little baby at the moment. So
she is.
She's got a little baby with ginormous hands. It's amazing.
And feet.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
Shocking.
That thing. Yeah. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah. Mike says, nice to meet you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Perfect.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, there we go. It was a blast. We appreciate it. And we will see you next Sunday, no matter what time we schedule it for on YouTube. We'll be here Sunday.
Yeah. Usually on Sundays.
It's going to be Sunday. Yeah, Lindy's Monday. You got to give her a little bit of a break because she's in the future.
She is.
She's like, why do I have to go back for these bumpkins and go into the past just to schedule Well, we appreciate you guys. It was awesome. We love hanging out with you guys, and we will see you probably before then, but definitely we'll see you next Sunday. We're going to be doing something this week for sure. We always are. But we will see you guys. You guys have a great week, and stay
carnivore.
Yeah.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
We'll see you guys.
Night, guys.
Yeah.